Doug Smith here, FCA on LSN with Take It to the Field. Coach Dave Dobmeyer, good to be with you again.
Good to be here, Doug. Thanks.
Last week, Dayton Jefferson, you beat them. How did that game go?
Well, it was a tough ball game for us, Doug. We knew it was going to be. Dayton Jefferson came into the game 5-2. But we'd been impressing upon our kids all week that this was a playoff game for us. In the position we were in, we were 6-2. We looked at our schedule. We knew that if we won the next two football games, 8-2, we'd be able to get into the playoffs. So last week started out a little bit rough because they were pretty physical. They had some great speed. It took our guys a while to really be able to settle down and play within themselves. And once they did that, especially in the second half, we were really, really dominant the second half. Our offensive line did a great job. We scored every time we had the ball the second half. And I kept saying the whole game, if we can just get one stop, if we can just stop them one time, we'll be in good shape. And finally we did. Jeremiah Lee made a big interception there, kind of turned the tide for us. We ended up winning, I think it was 43-24, although the score was certainly closer than that. So all that did is set up, or really it's a bigger game for us this week.
Yeah. Ben Tobin, fourth in the nation in rushing yards.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's the entire nation,
Not fourth in Fairfield County, not fourth in Ohio, fourth in the entire nation. And it's been a real blessing because we love Ben to death. I love Ben to death, but I never dreamed that he would be that kind of tailback when we moved him there. He was a fullback last year, a blocking fullback. And when situation arose and we had to have somebody carry the ball, I turned to Ben because I knew how tough he was and said, Ben, will you be tailback? And Ben said, Coach, I'll do whatever I can. And he's just, again, the line's blocked so well, but he's been just unbelievably tenacious running the ball up inside. He's right at the 2,500-yard mark, which is, that's unbelievable. With this game to play and hopefully a first-round playoff game, those all count. So the thing that makes Ben so good is his teammates love to block for him. I've coached a lot of guys, and he's as humble, team-oriented as any guy that I ever coached. At the end of the game, Doug, it's not about how many yards he gained. He doesn't really care. It's about whether or not we won the game. So he's been a real good horse to ride, that's for sure.
Well, moving on to this week, Grove City, you win, you're in. What do you have to do to be in the playoffs?
Same thing, man. We just gotta play good, solid football. We think our offensive line is going to carry us through as they have throughout the year. Colin Young's become much better at quarterback, making good decisions, taking care of the football, and we're going to feed Ben and make him stop him. They're very capable on their own. They've scored a lot of points. They have a young sophomore named Justin Hayward in their backfield that we're going to have to contain. And truth would be, we've had some trouble containing some guys this year, so we're going to have to wrap him up, tackle, hang on to the football. All those things we always talk about every week, we're going to have to do that. We look at it as another football game. We look at it, people like to say, boy, this is your big rival, Grove City Christian. That's not the way I look at it, and that's not the way I try to focus on it with our guys. Week number 10. It's another ball game we have to win on our journey to the playoffs. Keep our guys focused and play that way. And then we think we come through that just as a little bit of tidbit. We win tonight, Doug. We believe that our first-round matchup will probably be either Newark Catholic, Zanesville Rosecrans, or Danville High School. So we got some football ahead of us for sure, and it's an exciting time.
Well, Coach, thanks for being with us again.
Thank you.
I'm Doug Smith. Thanks for watching FCA on LSN. Up next, the game.
Service Master claimed by Todd George. They are proud to be the only Green Seal certified janitorial service in Central Howard and promise to do the job right or do it over. 740-687-1077.
Fairfield Media Productions is proud to present FCA on LSN and FMP Sports on fairfieldmedia.tv.
FCA on LSN, brought to you in part by
Service Master claimed by Todd George. They are proud to be the only Green Seal certified janitorial service in Central Howard and promise to do the job right or do it over. 740-687-1077.
Thompson Concrete, a full-service concrete company. Online at thompsonconcrete.com.
Fairfield Mini Storage is located on East Main Street in Lancaster. Or find them online at ffministorage.com.
Discover your promise in academics, in athletics, or in theater at Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington. Online at lancaster.ohiou.edu.
Let Matt Gray motivate you or your group for change. You can visit him online at maxspeaking.com.
InFocus Consulting, the data agency. Online at infocusconsulting.com.
Fairfield Christian Church, located near the River Valley Mall in Lancaster. Online at fairfieldcc.com.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home. Respect for tradition, regard for change. Available online at funeralhome.com.
Roger Weaver and the Weaver Law Offices. Online at weaver-law.com.
Redeemer Lutheran Church and Dr. Jack Davidson. You can visit them online at redeemerlancaster.org.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
It's the place where women can relax and know that they are among friends.
Sing it out with me. So carry your candle.
It's the Among Friends Women's Conference with Kathy Tricoli at Fairfield Christian Church in Lancaster on Friday evening, November 9th and Saturday morning, November 10th. An event to encourage, comfort, and inspire Central Ohio women. Among Friends Women's Conference with Kathy Tricoli at Fairfield Christian Church in Lancaster, November 9th and 10th. More details at amongfriendsconference.com.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can they hear me? Hello everybody, my name's Andrew Gherkin and you're here at New Lexington. On behalf of the FCA media team, we'd like to welcome you to this football game. Fairfield Christian Academy is going to be playing Grove City Christian. It's going to be a great matchup. The weather's cool and chilly, but everybody's going to be ready to play a good hard game. If the Knights win, they proceed to the playoffs. And that's just going to be a really good matchup. So I'm now going to throw it up to Caleb Kandra and Jack Davidson.
Thank you, Andrew. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Jim Rockwell Stadium here in New Lexington, Ohio. It's the Grove City Christian Eagles with a record of 5-4, coached by Luke Lucas, against the FCA Knights, coached by Dave Dovemeyer. They're 7-2 on the season. Caleb?
Luke Lucas, the man with two first names.
Yeah, Luke Lucas. Who are the impact players for tonight?
Well, as we look into today's game, impact players, we look at the Knights. You obviously want to look at offensively your quarterback, Colin Young. He's a huge asset to them. Can add that running ability on the ground, but he's really got his passing into the game this year. He's a rookie, if you really think about it, in terms of being a quarterback. So this is a new kind of setup for him. Is a big deal. Then also you want to look at other impact players. Always got to look at still, like if you look at defensively speaking, I would say Brian Miller is their big. Him and Joey Gall would be defensive impact players. Huge deal for him. They've always led the team in tackles, sacks, everything. And then we look at Ben Tobin, big old Ben Tobin, who is fourth in the nation on max preps and over in rushing yards for the season. He's got 2,383 yards rushing. He's averaging 8.93 yards a carry, and he's averaging 264.8 yards a game. So definitely, that would definitely be the biggest impact player. If Ben Tobin can run the ball tonight, the Knights will be able to win. That's what it comes down to for the Knights. And then as we look over at Grove City Christian, definitely their running back, Jordan Hayward, who's 20th in the area here in Mid-Ohio in the dispatch in rushing yards with 1,029 yards rushing. Definitely a big deal for them. Also, you got to look at their quarterback. And as I pull his name up here, why am I... As you look at their quarterback, as I pull his name up here, Nate High, he's definitely one of their impact players. One of the neat things about Nate High is he adds this extra element to the game. He can run the football. He's one of those quarterbacks who can run around, move around a little bit. So that's a big deal for them. And then also you got to bring up their wide receiver, Trayvon Roberts. Definitely a big wide receiver. His coach calls him a bullet. So that'll be a big deal for the Knights, trying to stop them offensively. This Grove City Christian team that is traditionally known for their speed and their agility and their quickness. So that's the keys to the game today. Those are those impact players.
Tonight's FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you by Service Master Clean by Todd George. They'll help you get clean and stay that way at work, at home, when they demonstrate their commitment to excellence and their promise to do the job right or do it over. Service Master Clean by Todd George can be contacted at 740-687-1077. We thank Todd George for supporting Fairfield Media Production and FCA Sports. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Weaver Law Offices, dedicated to serving all of Central Ohio with competent, qualified, and timely legal assistance at reasonable rates. Roger Weaver is a name you know, experience you can trust. Weaver Law Offices can be contacted at 614-834-1750 or online at weaver-law.com. We thank our good friend Roger Weaver for supporting Fairfield Christian Athletics. Grove City Christian will be kicking the ball off. Tristan Taylor, sophomore wide receiver, defensive back, and kicker, approaches the ball, drives it. Tobin has it. Up the gut. Check that, that's not Tobin. That's Lane Tolman.
Close enough last name.
Lane's been out of commission there for the past few weeks, and it's good to see Lane back in the swing of things. Ben Tobin was returning kicks last week, so FCA with great field position, 1st and 10 on their own 28, led by Colin Young.
A junior quarterback who was a tight end last year. That's huge.
Ben Tobin is the running back. 2 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. Low snap. Tobin has it. Up the gut to about the 34. 2nd and short.
Well, and that's like we talked about in that pregame there a little bit. We talked about how he's averaging 8.5, almost 9 yards a carry. And that's a great example right there. As you see him, he gets like 6 yards on that carry right off the bat. And some of it was he's just pulling people with him.
Ball on the 34-yard line. 2nd and a long 4. Young to Gall, right side, brought down quickly.
Joey Gall is a converted lineman, actually. Now he's playing fullback, little wide receiver, playing a little bit of everything on offense this year.
No gain. Ben Aulick on the tackle, be 3rd and 5 on the 39.
You can almost expect a run from Tobin here. You can almost feel it in the air.
I feel cold in the air. Tobin with a direct snap. Hits the 37-yard line. He'll be close to a 1st down, but short, I believe. Probably about a yard short.
4th and inches, it looks like. They're going to measure that. Oh, they give him the 1st down. Well, and that's one of those instances there where we were talking about how Ben Tobin is, like I said there, you can almost feel like they're going to hand it to you. You can expect him. Like, that's the nice thing about having a running back who can average almost 8 yards a carry, is when it's third and long, 3rd and 5, you can still run the football.
Tobin up the gut to the 39. Tonight's officials, Jerry Truer is the referee. Mark Windeman is the umpire. Sideline warning on FCA. Barry Oyer is one of the linesmen. Don Casto is the other linesman, and the back judge, Kevin Matz.
Well, and from what it sounded like up here, it sounded like coaches were getting upset that one of the Grove City Christian players picked up the ball, which you're not supposed to do. So that could potentially be what they were yelling about.
2nd and 8 on the 40. Young up the gut, first down and more across the 50.
Well, that was a really interesting play there. You see it. The line made it look like they were going to hand the ball off to Tobin. You see Tobin and Gall go off to it looked like the right or the left. I can't remember if it was the right or the left. They go off and they clear this open hole because they cleared out those linebackers, drawing them off to the side, giving Colin Young a ton of running room.
Young, Ben Tobin. First down and more. He's got a seam to the 25, close to the 20. First down, Knights.
Ben Tobin has now broken, he might break this record in the night. Might reach, I believe it is 25th all-time season rusher in Ohio high school history if he can get 100 yards rushing tonight.
He's got 30 on that play. Young gives to Tobin up the gut. He'll gain a couple. Driven back by the interior of the Grove City Christian line. Grove City is down in numbers tonight. They have 19 dressed up. We were watching their warm-ups, Caleb. And it was interesting. They had managers and some injured players helping out, just trying to run plays.
Well, and I mean, we talk about one of their big losses is number 55. I can't recall his name right now at the current moment. If you pull that up there, that's number 55, Tanner Burtz. Broke his neck. And he was one of their big linebackers, and that was a huge loss for them.
Tobin first down to the 10.
This is a huge thing for the Knights because they always talk about, in football, if you can run the ball well, you can do anything you want to in a football game. And right now, the Knights are doing a really good job at running the football. And, you know, Kirk Herbstreit always talks about this on ESPN. If you can run the football well, that opens up the option for play action pass, and then all of a sudden your playbook just opens up.
They marked Tobin short of the first down. Young up the gut, touchdown, 11 yards. Colin Young on the quarterback keeper, and just like that, the Knights are up 6-0 with 8:03 to go in the first quarter of play with a point after to follow.
They came out real quick. You know, we only have, 10-minute quarters. Came out, had only about a 2-minute drive and just went at it. And like I said, one passing play that entire drive. And if they can run the ball successfully like they did on that drive all night long, they're going to have no problem beating Grove City Christian tonight.
Colin Young to hold. Junior Collins for the point after. Ball down. Kick is up, and it is good. 8:03 to go here in the first quarter of play. FCA leads. Grove City Christian getting their first possession of the ball game, driving it down the field. FCA leads by a score of 7.
Well, and we talked, and Andrew Gherkin touched on this a little bit in his opening. If Fairfield Christian, almost got him Ohio State. If Fairfield Christian wins this game tonight, they are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. They solidify their spot in the playoffs, and a little later on we'll look at what the playoff picture is looking like right now. But on the other side, if Grove City Christian pulls out a win, and with a little help from some other teams, they have a shot at playoffs. So this is a huge game for both teams in terms of playoff hopes and playoff implications.
Collins will tee the ball up at the 40. Trey Roberts will be back in single safety for Grove City. Roberts, a 5'9", 154-pound sophomore wide receiver. Good start by FCA. 1 win and they're in the playoffs. And if they win, they play next Friday.
Well, and this is a game by all means necessary that is a playoff game at this point. If it's when you're in, it might as well be a playoff game.
Short kick recovered by Ben Aulick, and it'll be just shy of the 40-yard line. I'll mark it at the 39. 1st and 10 for Grove City.
Well, and like we said in the pregame, Nate High, you're definitely going to look at him. He's the quarterback down there. Definitely can move around and is a player you're going to want to keep your eye on.
High. Little end around action to Roberts, and he's brought down with about a 2-yard loss. The tackle, Colin Blackwell. They head to the line of scrimmage quickly. High rolls right, throws downfield, got a receiver, open, caught. That is Brady Holt for a touchdown. No flags. Just like that.
There's that big play capability of the Grove City Christian Eagles football team. The Knights have got to play better pass defense on that situation. They had the Eagles on that play had 3 guys against 1 Fairfield Christian defender. So really at any time this Grove City team can score, which is huge because when you are able to throw a bomb like that and then all of a sudden you're back in the game.
Point after by Tristan Taylor is good, and with 7:33 to go in the first quarter of play, we're tied at 7 here on LSN. First quarter action at FCA and LSN brought to you in part by Thompson Concrete, full service company offering commercial, residential, decorative, excavation, and foundation services with the ability to handle every detail of large, complex concrete projects. Thompson Concrete, located in Carroll, Ohio, can be reached at 740-756-7256 or online at thompsonconcrete.com.
Hey, you talked about how Ben Tobin ran a kickoff return last week. He's back out there in for Lane Toman.
Well, that didn't take long. 7:33 to go in the first quarter play. That drive took 30 seconds.
Jeez, that's insane. That was a West Virginia looking play on that one right there. Just real quick, real fast, passing the ball.
Taylor boots it, goes into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback.
Well, the Knights on this drive definitely need to score, especially after you look at that there. With the ability of Grove City Christian to score like that on the Knights, you need to score every time you have the football. For both teams, really, there are no drives that you can say, well, we're going to play some field position on this drive. Every drive you have to go out and you have to score. There is no getting around that.
Knights break the huddle, 1st and 10 on their own 20. Young, he's going to go long. Walker's got it to the 40. Fumble, incomplete. They're going to mark him down. That the ball was jarred loose as he hit the ground. So that pass play, Young to Walker, good for a first down. And there's like 2 heavyweights going at it. Caleb?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, you hear Grove City wanting that to be a fumble or incomplete, but I mean, he had it. He had it for 2 steps, taken down, popped out. I mean, it was a good call. And like you said, yeah, heavyweight matchup, and you're going to see a lot of scoring in this one.
Tobin, he's got a seam, cuts back, first down, penalty flag on the play.
Call holding. I think that's going to be on Austin Mosley. Excuse me, they call that on number 52, which is, I believe that's Brian Miller. Interesting.
First down for the Knights, be first and be about 15 on the 46-yard line.
Knights sporting a very diverse offense tonight. Most of the time, especially if you saw it early in the season, you'll see the Knights run I formation.
Talk about run. There goes Ben to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, no flags.
Wow, the ability to score on these 2 teams is ridiculous. As you see, they get backed up 10 yards. And then all of a sudden, I love how this doesn't intimidate them at all. They're like, okay, well, we'll have another shot at it. And so they go out, and another huge run for Tobin, and he's getting close to 100 yards, and he hasn't even passed halfway through the first quarter.
That's a 46-yard run by Tobin. He had a 30-yard run a couple minutes ago. 13-7 the score. Snap, down, ball up, down, up, good, and just like that, it's now a...
Well, and I mean, good grief, Jack. I mean, we haven't even reached 5 minutes in the first quarter.
Okay, you're the college student. You do the math. 7:33 to 6:42. That's like a 45-second drive.
Not even.
My, oh my. So Tobin with the 46-yard touchdown run at 6:42 of the first quarter. And FCA now leads 14.
Well, and you can see Luke Lucas over there talking to his boys, saying, look, we got to get something going. We got to score again. Like I said, for the Knights, they've got to be able to score on every drive. Well, that goes for Grove City, too. Because when both teams can just, I mean, obviously, as you're seeing, we might see a better defensive play from the Knights on this drive. But, I mean, technically speaking, you're going to be seeing it's going to be like West Virginia Baylor. It's going to be a huge offensive battle tonight is what it's definitely going to come down to, is which offense can score more points.
Don't you just love rivalry games? There's a deep kick. Dropped by Roberts, picks it up at the 20. He'll try to cut back, still moving.
And that's why he is that impact player.
20-15, 10-5 touchdown.
Well, and if you saw there, he made a nice juke move. He made a couple moves. That's why I said he was one of those impact players for the Eagles. That can happen at any time. It's one of those things you got to keep your head up if you're the Knights on tackling, defense, special teams. Every time that you're going to be tackling the opposing team, you have to keep your head up. You have to drive through. You have to see where you're going. Most of the time when they get juked out of their feet like that, it's because they put their heads down and they are looking at the ground.
Taylor puts it through, and just like that, we're tied at 14 with 6:27 to go in the first quarter of play.
Do you even call that a drive?
Well, let's see. That only took 15 seconds off the clock. So, this FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you by Central Ohio General Surgeons. They're physicians who have an advanced training that allows them to perform invasive procedures for their patients. As Central Ohio General Surgeons, your appointment includes time for examination and discussions, so please feel free to ask questions at any time. Central Ohio General Surgeons can be contacted at 740-654-6213, online at centralohiogeneralsurgeons.com.
Does anybody see a video game score being the end of this game?
Yeah, like a video game or football.
Oh my goodness! We're not even halfway through the quarter. There have been 28 points put up on the board. You've got a running back who's well over halfway to 100 yards already in the first quarter. This is insane.
Heater and Tobin back deep for the Knights. Taylor with a kick to Heater at the 15 to about the 22.
Josh Heater's one of those players. I wouldn't call him an impact player because the game success does not hinge on how well he plays. However, he is one of those players, he's one of those sleeper players that you got to keep an eye out on. He's very talented. He's a freshman. He's very young. But he is probably one of those players that at any point can make a big play, but isn't going to make those big plays like Tobin as consistently, or Jacob Walker, or Colin Young, or even Brian Miller.
Timeout, Grove City Christian. Timeout on the field, 6:22 to go, first quarter of play. We're tied at 14. That's right, we're tied at 14, not even 6 minutes into the ball game. FCA on LSN. This FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you in part by Ohio Christian University, committed to offering a complete education that develops students intellectually, professionally, and spiritually. Ohio Christian University's degree programs equip students to become leaders in their careers, communities, families, and the world. Ohio Christian University, online, ohiochristian.edu. Well, I don't think you've been in a game like this, have you? You played football before, but you haven't seen this, have you?
I've been on the side where we've been throwing up points, but not where both teams have done it.
Yeah.
This is brand new. I don't know what to say to this.
Fun to watch.
It's interesting.
If you're a coach, you'll get more gray hairs.
If you're a coach, this is the most awful thing to watch.
Well, the Knights will take possession now, 1st and 10 on their 22. Tobin with a direct snap. Cuts back. And he's driven back, gets up to about the 29-yard line.
It's at least a 6-yard run. Excuse me, 7-yard run, actually. That's what I'm talking about there. If Ben Tobin can average at least even 5 yards a carry. You can drive down the field in no time, and you just dominate the ball or the game, and you just wear out the other team.
Tobin. Looks like he will push the pile up to about the 32.
You know, I've told you this in past games when we've watched Ben Tobin run. And I may sound like a broken record when I say this, but he always reminds me of Jerome Bettis. He just does not go down. Very hard runner. He does not go down when most other running backs or even players would go down. He keeps going. He's a very hard worker.
Ball on the 32, 1st and 10 for the Knights. Young on the keeper, and I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, that was a 3rd down play. The scoreboard had it wrong. So 3rd down will be 4th down and 1.
Well, and knowing Coach Stottmeyer, there's more, or you're probably going to see them hand the ball off to Ben Tobin or even another QB sneak like that. You could very well see them throw the ball. I mean, honestly, you never know what you're going to get on 4th down from Coach Stottmeyer.
Well, 4th and 1 on the 32. High snap picked up by Grove City Christian, and on the turnover, Grove City Christian will have the ball in great field position.
Well, that's one of those instances there. That was just a high snap from Brian Miller, and you know, it happens. That happens all the time. And so, you know, you got to work through those things, and hopefully the defense here can stop this Grove City Christian offense.
Nate High leads the team out of the huddle. Haywood and Swank. Ball given to Haywood up the right side to close to the 10-yard line.
Now Nate High on that play, I mean, just handing it off. We haven't really seen him dance around a little bit. I'm interested to see what Nate High, can do in this ball game. And I mean, like you said there, Jordan Haywood running the ball very well.
Swank and Haywood in the backfield, and that is a loss on the play. Haywood the ball carrier. Good job by Joey Gall and Brian Miller to snuff that out. It'll be 3rd and...
It was Brian Miller and Austin Mosley in on that tackle. Austin Mosley grabbed his foot, and Brian Miller came in and cleaned it up.
Check that 2nd down. 2nd and 13. Actually, at 2nd and goal on the 13. High on the keeper. Crosses the 10 to the 9.
Well, this is definitely shaping up to be a very good game. Grove City Christian here in goal, in 3rd and goal. Knights really need a stop here. That'd be huge for momentum. Force a field goal, and they can really, honestly, and that's a manageable deficit. You definitely, in this game, do not want to get down by a touchdown at any point.
3rd and goal. Tristan Taylor, their kicker, can hit from this distance, so Grove City Christian in field goal range.
Oh, yes.
Haywood going left side, tries to cut back and driven down. Taylor Kopp on the tackle. It'll be 4th down, and it looks like Grove City Christian will send their field goal unit on.
If I'm Fairfield Christian, though, I'm gonna not want to rush everybody. I'm gonna hold back, hang out, and force him to kick it from the side, and in hopes that they don't fake it, because you know, you never know with this team and how much talent they have. They can very well do that.
Taylor is 7th in the area in kick scoring, and that one is good. So that field goal is the 9th field goal for Taylor this season. Came in tonight with 51 points. He's got a few more, and with 2:44 to go in the first quarter play, Grove City Christian takes a 17-14 lead on FCA on LSN.
Well, and we saw there that's an incredibly important stop there by the Knights. Way to only force, you gave up 3 points, you gave up points, but instead of giving up 7 points, you're only down by 3, and that really makes it an incredibly manageable football game at that point. Can't give up turnovers. You said in the pregame, Coach Dobby always asks him, what are the keys to the game? And he always tells you, can't turn the ball over every week. And that's one of those keys there. It may sound redundant, but, he's absolutely right. When you turn the ball over, that's a chance you had to score that you just lost. That's a huge thing.
And if FCA wins this game and they go on to the playoffs next week, there's a pooch kick, a onside kick that is recovered, and Grove City Christian takes the ball over in FCA territory.
Well, that right there, that's a really interesting call from Grove City Christian. They get the ball back. They're up by 3. And it's very interesting. I'm not sure what I think about that.
Well, you know what? They're 5-4. They have to win to maintain any semblance of trying to get into the playoffs. And this is a rivalry game, so you're going to put out all the stops.
Exactly.
It's a good call by the coach.
Very good call.
Kind of a surprise.
Very much a surprise.
That's why you do it. Full house backfield. There we go to, let's see, that is Swank carrying the ball and a penalty flag on the play.
I think you're going to see holding or block in the back. I think that's going to be coming back. Well, and when that's made by the umpire in the back, whenever it's thrown at a lineman, automatically it's going to be holding.
Holding on the Knights.
What? I hate to sound biased there, but it's a very interesting call.
So defensive holding will back the Knights up.
Defensive holding has always been a call that I've never really been quite... I've never understood the call because in terms of how it works rules-wise, defensively you're allowed to really grab wherever except the face mask. So whenever I see defensive holding, I kind of cock my head to the side and go, I don't really understand why. If it's pass interference sort of situation, it makes a little more sense, but that's interesting.
Haywood is cut down by Austin Mosley, and
he loses his head.
Austin loses his helmet, so he'll have to come off.
His chin strap was ripped off. It's incredible.
And you see Coach
Emmett Rushton.
He's not wearing shorts tonight. I asked him why. He says he's styling with the sweatpants, looking good.
That's different. Coach, he always wears shorts.
Jordan Edwards gets the offensive lineman's dream. He gets the handoff and gains a few.
Well, I'll never forget 2 years ago when the Knights went to their first playoff appearance against Newark Catholic. Freezing, below freezing. It's like 20 degrees out. Coach, he's out there wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Tonight's not a bad night. Game time temperature 54 degrees. Rain is in the area. It's supposed to rain later on,
and we're praying that it doesn't. There's that running ability high.
And he's got a first down across the 20, close to the 15.
Well, the Knights really need to play some better defense here. They've been playing really sloppy, giving up some big plays. Got defensive holding, even though I don't really understand what that is. They need to kind of clean up their play and really play like they did on that play where they went in and got Haywood there in the backfield. They need to play more like that.
Grove City Christian breaks the huddle. 1st and 10 on the 17. Wind at their back. 5 seconds on the play clock. Haywood gets the fake. It's high, going around end, about the 10. Nice fake there by Nate Hyde. Jordan Haywood up the middle. He kept it on the keeper. Be 2nd and 2 on the 9.
Will definitely be very interesting here. If the Knights stop them here like they did on the last drive, it's still manageable. They're still behind. You cannot give up. You cannot get behind 10 points at this point. You cannot when you have Coach Lucas over there calling plays like little stump kicks like that. You can't.
Haywood around the end, 5, touchdown.
Well, and this is exactly where the Knights do not want to be. They need to score, and they need to score quick.
9-yard touchdown run by Haywood gives Grove City Christian a 23-14 lead with the extra point to follow. Taylor to kick the ball through the uprights, just like that, with 13.4 seconds to go in the first quarter. There's a 10-point lead. Grove City Christian leads FCA by a score of 24-14.
Tristan Taylor may want to ease off how hard he kicks those field goals. He's kicked them over the fence twice now.
Got quite a leg, and that is quite a weapon. You might remember last year with FCA, they had Hayden Welch, and he was able to kick field goals from any distance. When you have that type of weapon in high school, that is something to behold.
Yeah. The Knights here definitely, again, they're going to definitely want to watch out for that squib kid again. And, you know, we'll see here. They're down by 10 points. They need to score, and they need to score now. They cannot afford to get down by any more than what they are right now.
Well, they have the opportunity, FCA, if their defense holds, they can put points on the board as well. We saw it last week in the second half of the game against Dayton Jefferson. There's a boot to Tobin, off his hands, touchback. 1st and 10 on the 20.
Well, and this is an incredibly important drive for the Knights. They need to get points on the board. They need to get, you're not out of this ball game, but you almost need to score to stay in it. Especially when you have the Eagles who have been scoring on every drive that they've had so far, you have to score every time you touch the football.
Well, FCA can put the points up. The thing is, the defense has to step up. Their Grove City Christian is on. There's a pass. Kopp, 35, across the 37-yard line. 7.5 seconds to go. The FCA defense is on par to give up 96 points tonight. You can't do that.
Oh, no.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. Timeout on the field with the first quarter.
FCA on LSN. FCA on LSN. Brought to you in part by
Thompson Concrete, a full-service concrete company. Online at thompsonconcrete.com.
Service Clean by Todd George. They are proud to be the only Green Seal certified janitorial service in Central Ohio and promise to do the job right or do it over. 740-687-1077.
Let Matt Gray motivate you or your group for change. You can visit him online at maxspeaking.com.
Roger Weaver and the Weaver Law Offices online at weaver-law.com.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
The 37 to start the second quarter of play, along with Caleb Kandra and the FCA media team. Jack Davidson high atop Jim Rockwell Stadium in New Lexington, Ohio. Grove City Christian leads this rivalry game, last game of the season, 24-14 over the Knights. Young gives to Tobin, across the 40 to the 45, 50, cuts back to the 45, close to the 42, we'll call it the 41.
Well, if you look at it on that play, Trayvon Martin, who's much faster than Ben Tobin, was trying to keep up with him because Ben Tobin was moving around through all those players so much, and he was finally able to grab onto him and bring him down.
That last run put our very own Benjamin Tobin over the 2,500-yard mark. There you heard Joe McCoy, the golden voice of Joe McCoy, tell the fans here that that's over 2,500 yards on the season for Ben Tobin.
And that puts him, I believe, ranked somewhere in between 25 to 32 in all-time and season rushing yards in Ohio high school history.
That's quite a feat for a junior who was not the feature back last year.
He was a fullback last year.
He has stepped up
I think he should have been fullback last year.
Tobin to the 35, to the 30, and he's hog wrestled down about the 26.
And number 79 there, that's Jordan Edwards. He's a big kid. I mean, if you look at him on the field, he's huge. And Ben Tobin dragged him. That's incredible.
10:50 to go. 1st and 10 for the Knights. Tobin on the direct snap. Finds a seam to the 20. Inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, between the 18 and 17, and that'll be close to a first down. It might be 2nd and short.
When Ben Tobin looks at film tomorrow, he's definitely going to see, oh crap, I should have went up the middle. Kept going up the middle because he had it up the middle, but he cut it out of the outside, got stopped short of the first down. But definitely, like I said, there's still a huge run from him.
It was an 8-yard run by Tobin, 2nd and 2 on the 18. Young on the keeper, first down for the Knights. Inside the 15, they'll move the change with 10:01 to go here in the first half of play.
Well, the Knights doing a good job at moving the ball. This is exactly what they need to do to definitely to get back into the ball game. Not that they're out of it, but to stay in it, definitely. It's like you said earlier, their defense has got to play better. You can't play, and both defenses have really got to play better.
Young over center. Tobin, 15, inside the 15 to the 10 to the 8.
Well, and like we just said there, that's, I mean, even though that's only a 7-yard run, that's still just poor defense in terms of the, if you look at the Grove City Christian there, just giving up too many yards right there, to the left and to the right, giving up too many holes. It's a good thing they have some speedy players who can catch back up with them.
Kopp and Gall in front of Tobin. Tobin gets it to the 5, to the 4, and that should be close to a first down.
Yeah, that looks like a first down. Yeah, definitely going to be 1st and goal there. And like that power formation's really one of Coach Donmeyer's favorites to run, because I mean you got all the big boys down in there and they can get in there.
Official timeout on the field. Now they get the ball set. 8:53 to go. Knights down by 10, but driving. Knights really have not had good field position all night. They've scored their 14 points on drives. Tobin up the gut, touchdown. Ben Tobin, 2-yard run, 8:43 to go, and it's now a 24-20 ball game with the point after to follow.
Well, like I said, if they get back into this ball game, if they get back into it early, if their defense holds on this next drive, I mean, the landscape of this ball game it will change, and they definitely need to stop here against the Eagles, a 3-and-out, something like that. Just as long, they can't give up any points right now. It's imperative the Knights defense holds.
80-yard drive for the Knights, and that was done exclusively with the run. Ball down, kick up, blocked, and no good. So 8:43 to go in the second quarter of play. Grove City Christian leads FCA by a score of 24-20. Second quarter action, FCA and LSN, brought to you in part by Fairfield Mini Storage, the place to store your personal or business goods in a clean, dry unit within a gated facility. They have outside storage for RVs and boats. They're Lancaster's source for Penske truck rentals. Fairfield Mini Storage, located at 2230 East Main Street in Lancaster. You can find them on the web at ffministorage.com. I'll tell you, Caleb, I try keeping stats during the game. I quit midway through the first quarter. I could not keep up. I try to keep the scoring drives and that, who scored. I'm going to rely on Mike Byers at halftime.
Mike Byers does great stats, too.
He does. He's a statistician for FCA, and we'll have the stats for you in the third quarter. Well, but it is almost impossible to write all this stuff down and keep up with all this. There's a short kick. Picked up by Grove City.
Well, and
across
Mike,
the 35
I had the opportunity to talk to Mike because Mike Byers before the game started, and we were talking about how Max Preps has Ben Tobin is the number 4. He's ranked number 4 for rushing leaders in the country and all-around rushing yards. And he brings up an interesting point. He said, well, not everybody is, putting their stats out on max preps. And I said, well, even then, that's still an incredible feat. Even with the hundreds of teams that are putting them out there, to be number 4 in all those teams that are out there is huge.
High will give the ball the first back through. That was Haywood. And he's up to about the 38-yard line. Mark at the 39, 2nd and 8.
Well, and the Knights here definitely, like I said, need to stop. 3 and out would be perfect. But I mean, this is a very high-powered Grove City offense.
High on the keeper, hit and dropped.
And Lane
Toman.
Lane Toman, very good job to stay home on that. He could have very easily bit on that fake up to the halfback and gone in with it, but no, he stayed home and he got the sack, and huge play there for the Knights instead of 3rd and what could have very possibly been short. The Grove City Eagles now have to manage a 3rd and long.
High over center. Throws, caught and dropped. Intended receiver Alec Poling, and the fans on the FCA side give the defense a standing ovation for coming up and forcing the first punt of the evening.
Well, and I mean, that was that 3 and out that we were talking about that the Knights really needed to get. Nice defensive series by the Knights. Definitely what you would want to see from your defense.
Tristan Taylor, the punter. He's going to keep it. Cuts up 35 and dropped, and the Knights have great field position as he is short of the 40.
You talked about how the Knights have had good field position all night. They're now starting on the Eagles' 40. So gutsy call from Coach Lucas. Doesn't surprise me that he called that, though, on 4th down. Coach Lucas, I mean, if you're going to kick an onside kick like that with only a 3-point lead, I don't think he has any problem doing that.
So the Knights, great field position. The ball inside the 40, 1st and 10. Down by 4, 7:19 to go. First half of play. Young to Tobin to the 35.
Well, and that's that 5-yard run. You keep chipping away. And really, if the Knights can run like this all night, they'd have no need for the passing game. I mean,
Caleb, they have been running like this all night. That's the thing. Really, they have. They've been running like this all night. The defense has finally stepped up that last series, but they've been running the ball.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you can average 5 yards a carry, even in that where they get stopped and only get nothing. But I mean, if you can continue to run the ball and get first downs with running, why even mess with passing the ball? There's no reason to. You just sit back, hand it off to your running back, and just go. And
I
just
think
go
there's
until they stop.
one pass tonight for FC. 2 passes. I know Jacob Walker caught one.
Oh, excuse me, 3 because they threw a little.
It's been exclusively running, though. There's Tobin. He's got a seam up the gut, first down, and he may go. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Ben Tobin. No flags. And we're back into the swing of things, scoring a touchdown every 2 minutes. It's 26-24 FCA with the point after to follow.
Well, and remember, just 5 minutes ago, Grove City had all the momentum. They're up by 10 points. It's their game to lose. Now all of a sudden the Knights are up 26-24.
I'm glad this is not a basketball game. We need oxygen at halftime. Collins on for the point after.
Some of the things you come up with.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
Like Ron Burgundy.
Oh, no, there's a fake. Young throws, end zone.
He got it.
2-point conversion, good. And that is to number 32, Caleb Walls.
Wow. Caleb Walls is what, freshman or is he sophomore?
He's a sophomore, 5'8" sophomore. Caleb Walls catches the 2-point conversion, and why shouldn't that surprise us, huh? We've had a little bit of everything with just a quarter and a half in the books.
And that nostalgia, being a sophomore coming into it and getting the opportunity to catch a 2-point conversion against your rival.
The FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you by Spires Paving Company, serving Lancaster and Fairfield County since 1984. They're a full-service pavement and pavement services company, providing asphalt paving, patching and repairing, crack filling and stripping for residential, commercial, churches, and local municipalities. Spires Paving, 740-653-6837, or online at SpiresPaving.com. Collins with the kickoff. Caught at the 30 by Aulick. To the 50, brought down by Michael Beatty.
Well, and we talked about how we have two aggressive coaches. I'm going to tell you what, I got to talk to Coach Luke Luskis before the game. He's one of the nicest people I met. He's a very, I honestly got to say, stand-up guy. Very, very easy to talk to, and I really enjoyed getting to meet him this morning, or this afternoon right before the game. Man, he has no problem calling risky calls.
1st and 10 on the 47 of the Knights. Grove City Christian with great field position. Roberts is the up back in the power I. And we have timeout Knights. 6:01 to go in the first half of play. The clock is still running. Not to stop the clock. It was at 6:01. Going to add some time here.
Well, and I think now would be an appropriate time to finally get to talk about that those playoff rankings and where everybody's looking.
Please do.
The Knights are ranked 7th in our region, which Grove City Christian is also in. They're ranked 7th. Right behind them is Hannibal River, who's ranked 8th. But if the Knights win tonight, they can possibly get to the 6th spot. Coach Dobmeyer's skeptical of this, but I think they technically have a shot at getting up to the number 5 spot. And then you've got the Grove City Christian Eagles ranked 13th, but they're almost basically tied with the 2 teams in front of them. So with a win tonight for Grove City and maybe a few helping things from some people around them, they have a shot at the playoffs too.
Movement on the Grove City Christian. We'll back them up 5 yards. Put the ball in their own territory now.
Well, definitely not what Grove City Christian wanted to do on that right there. That puts it 1st and 15. You never want to be 1st and 15. You never want to be anything in 15.
Of course, this is senior night here for FCA's last home game of the season, and they're try to talk about some of the seniors later on in the game if we get a chance. We may not with all the scoring. High, throws, long, it is incomplete.
You know, I think there might have been a offensive pass interference, actually.
Casey Stauffer was the intended receiver.
It looked like number 24, Casey Stauffer, as he said there, after he saw the ball was overthrown, he kind of put his head into Jacob Walker, and it looked like that kind of put it out of reach for him. No pass interference called, which is surprising with how strict they've called things tonight. But, I mean, technically speaking, I mean, you never know. 2nd and 15, though.
5:49 to go, first half of play.
Now, I'm very surprised. I have not seen Grove City line up out of a shotgun yet today.
Timeout Grove City as the play clock was down to 2, so Grove City takes their 2nd timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining. FCA has 2 remaining. 5:49 to go here in the first half of play. FCA leads 28-24. I want to remind you that halftime we will have an interview with Coach Roger Hooper, the boys basketball coach at FCA, and this should be an exciting season for the boys.
They have an opportunity to go far in the playoffs this year.
FCA and LSN brought to you in part by Enfocus Consulting, the data agency positioning and managing data in the marketplace. Enfocus Consulting provides data management from Lancaster, Ohio. It can be reached at 740-654-5809 or online at enfocusconsulting.com. Of course, our halftime sponsor is Frankie Smith Funeral Home. We thank them for sponsoring FCA Sports on LSN. rolling left, thrown, caught.
You got to wrap up on defense. You can't let that happen.
Taylor knocked out close to the 40. Good pass by Nate High. The left side will bring up third and about a long 4, maybe 5.
Well, we talked about how Nate High is one of those impact players, and I think he has an incredible amount of field vision to see where the open receivers are, even under pressure.
This is a young Grove City Christian team. There are only 3 seniors on the roster. High back to pass. Looks, throws, incomplete. Intended receiver was Alec Poling, and Colin Young was closer to receive that. So with 5:37 to go, be interesting if they're going to punt the ball or go for it. 4th and 4.
I think that was supposed to be a halfback screen with the way they let the Knights through the line. And I think the Knights just got to him quicker than they expected him to and really just messed up their entire game plan right there.
Tristan Taylor, high snap, will punt the ball away. Wobbly kick, it'll hit inside the 20 to 15. We'll see where they mark it.
Right at the
about the 9-yard line. Great kick with 5.5 to go here in the first half of play. This is the worst field position the Knights have had, but they've had an 80-yard touchdown drive, so they're certainly capable of scoring.
Well, and I got to tip my hat to Tristan Taylor there. That is what every coach wants their kicker to do when they're putting the ball away, is to do exactly what he did right there.
And that was into the wind.
That was an incredible kick. It bounced their way, too.
Young, looking, sacked.
Ooh. He had Jacob Walker wide open, too, down the middle.
Walker open down the left side. Heater was open for a brief moment on the right, but Colin was looking for Walker on the left side. 5 minutes to go, first half of play. Nate High on the tackle.
5 minutes left in the first half, and it's 28-24, Jack.
This has been, with all the scoring, this has been a quickly played first half. Backs in the eye, 2nd and 16. Draw play to Tobin. He gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage.
Well, and they're going to want a safety there, the Grove City will, but
forward progress is what, maybe the 3?
Yeah, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, what it looked like. I think he hit line of scrimmage, ran into big old Jordan Edwards, who is a hoss. He's huge, and just got driven back. A great defensive series there by Grove City.
There's official timeout on the field now as they get set up. Now they start the clock. 4:13 to go. 20 seconds on the play clock.
Knights need to get something big here. Need to get a first down at the very least.
Young back to pass. Looks, throws. He's got Kopp to the 15, to the 16. He's going to be close to a first down. Maybe mark at the 18.
I think he got it.
It's hard to see because the chains are on the far side. Looks like I'm going to mark it a long yard short.
It'll be interesting to see what, I think they're going to go for it.
3:40 to go.
I don't see why not. If you've been successful running the ball all night, and if you can throw a ball like that and make it all of a sudden 4th and short all of a sudden, why not?
Young to Tobin, 20, 25, 30, 31, first down Knights. Gutsy call by Coach Daubenmeyer.
But it paid off.
It paid off, but you know what? They have not been able to stop Ben Tobin tonight.
Except when they were down on the 3.
that was about, that's right. That was the one time they were able to stop him.
Well, and
they've stopped Colin Young a couple times on some quarterback sneaks, but Colin's had, a couple 5-6 yard gains. But
and he's also had a 10-15 yard gain.
That's right. But with Ben Tobin, they have not stopped them yet. So,
well, and coming as a defensive player myself, when you give that up on 4th and 1 and you have a chance for awesome field position, that takes the breath out of you.
Long pass, it is incomplete. Walker, the intended receiver, and Trey Roberts was on the coverage.
And Trayvon Roberts, they didn't joke around, man. That kid is fast. I mean, he was jogging, and he had Jacob Walker beat by a mile.
2nd and 10 on the 31 with 3:03 to go, first half of play. Heater and Gall now split out wide right. Walker wide left. Tobin with the direct snap. Still moving across the 35 to about the 37.
You know, some people have called that the wildcat, but I don't think that's a wildcat, really. That's just a direct snap.
Yeah, I think some might have called it a pistol. I don't know what. We'll have to ask.
I don't know what to call that.
Yeah. It's worked, though. They put that
whatever it is, it's working.
3 games. Now it's 3rd and 4 on the 34. This is an I formation. We know that. There's Tobin to the 40, 45, 46. They'll move the chains.
And that's classic Dobmeyer power running football. I mean, the fact that he's passed it as much as he had has been impressive. Well, and Coach Dobbs said something to us before the game. How we went from being a passing team to a running team overnight, and then back is incredible.
Coach Dobmeyer, one of the top coaches in Central Ohio. Young on the quarterback keeper. Moves the pile to about the 49-yard line.
Josh Harkness and Jordan Edwards are 2 big boys. And, man, the fact that he was able to squeeze through the way he did was very impressive.
2nd and 7, under 2 minutes to go.
You know, and I want to comment, Josh Harkness, and Jordan Edwards, they've been playing very well on the defensive line.
2 wide receivers to the right. To the right, there's Young back to pass, throws to Walker's, got it, 1st down at the 43-yard line. Roberts on the coverage along with Jordan Haywood.
Well, I think what happened on that was Jordan Edwards. Trey Roberts got a little greedy. I think he tried to go for the pick. And sometimes if you go for the pick, it doesn't really work out too well for you.
Tobin caught and dropped. That is a loss on the play. Timeout Knights with 1:20 to go in the first half of play.
Ethan Swank, great play there. Way to get in the backfield and take out his feet. That's what they tell you to do when you got a running back, especially like Ben Tobin. You cannot tackle high. You have to take out the feet. You cannot go after their body. You have to take out feet or else they'll run through you.
Stay tuned for the halftime show where Coach Roger Hooper of the boys basketball team will be interviewed. The FCA and LSN halftime show brought to you in part by the Frankie Smith Funeral Home in Lancaster, Ohio, and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore, Ohio. They have a long and excellent history of serving our community in times of loss. Frankie Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. They're available online at funeralhome.com.
Been a very interesting game. Between the 2 teams, we have 52 points scored in the first half.
1:20 to go. Knights up by 4.
I love this shotgun formation that Coach Dobbs has been running.
Young, back to pass, looking, throwing long. It is incomplete. Intended receiver was Jacob Walker, and Trey Roberts was on the coverage.
Great coverage there by Trey Roberts. Way to stay on the inside, not let Jacob Walker cut to the inside like he was trying to. And very good defense from Trey Roberts. I'm very impressed by that play.
3rd down now. Scoreboard says 4th down and 12, but it's 3rd and 12 on the 45. 1:11 to go. 3rd and 12. This might be 4-down territory for the Knights.
Oh, definitely 4-down territory.
Tobin up the gut.
Great run by Tobin.
Up to 37, so he gains about half of what he needed.
Oh, it's 4-down territory. I mean, you know that any time Coach Dobmeyer is on the opposing team's side of the 50, it is 4th down territory.
And they're going to stop the clock and may have to add some time onto the clock.
Well, it's been an interesting...
Wow. So Ben Tobin now is over 2,600 yards of rushing in a season.
What an incredible... I mean, that means that he would have had to have over 200 yards rushing, and we're not even done with the first half. Because he was at what do they have him down here at? They have him having 2,383 yards rushing coming into this game. So he has to have run at least somewhere in the ballpark of 200 yards.
And Ben will tell you that it's not him, it's the offensive line.
Oh, yeah. Well, and this is an offensive line that Coach Daba has been raving about all year long, how they bulked up over the winter in the weight room.
4th down. Young looking, throws, Kopp. Did he catch it?
They say he caught it.
Caught it. Grove City Christian was saying incomplete. The officials will confer, and it's 1st down. Great catch by Kopp. 56.3 seconds to go. Clock is running, and the Knights down the ball quickly.
Well, and I'm not being completely honest. It's a good thing they're not in college ball,
because that might have been reviewed.
I think that would have been reversed too.
And that might have been a good play on the Knights to get that play underway and down the ball, so that they can get that in the books. And they can't. Now they can't review it in high school, but at least the officials couldn't confer.
Right. Well, and it is a very. It was an interesting call. I thought he didn't complete it, to be completely honest. And they called it, said he caught it, and I was like, oh.
2nd and 10 on the 21. Plenty of time. The way this game's going, you can score 2 or 3 touchdowns. Young throwing long into the corner of the end zone. It is caught by Walker. Touchdown. What a play.
A big old Austin Booted Dixon running up to meet him. And 40 points scored on offense. And we aren't done with the first half yet, Jack.
46.5 seconds to go. We are on pace for one team to score 80 points. I mean, this is unbelievable.
This is seriously reminding me. I know I talk about professional and college sports all the time.
This is Madden football right here. This is John Madden football.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when West Virginia scored 60, 70 points on a Baylor, and it was like 70-something to 60-something?
Ball down, kick is up, and it is our timeout. We've got a timeout, so the play is dead, and they're going to delay of game, I guess, on the Knights.
Both teams got decent enough kickers. That doesn't really change much of anything from a length perspective.
Now they've changed the scoreboard. It's 34-24. That's more like it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
At 40. Of course, again, they have time to score another touchdown here.
The way this game has been going. They're up by 10 points. It'll be huge for the Knights if they can go up by 11.
High spot, and the ball is blocked. Kick is blocked, and so it's a 10-point lead for the Knights, 34-24 with 46.5 seconds to go. And we're going to try to go to Andrew Gerken at the halftime to talk to Coach Staudenmeier. So keep it right here before we get to the halftime show.
Well, and definitely one of the things I can almost guarantee, I bet you I can, let's put some money down on this. I bet you I know what Coach Staudenmeier is going to say. Something to the extent of, we need to play better defense.
Fun to watch, I'll tell you that.
It sucks to be a coach to watch this.
See, you didn't have this when you were growing up, but I had the folks my age remember the electric football, where you put you turn the electric football on, and the players would kind of run everywhere, and you just hope that the running back would go forward. You know, I mean, this is like it's kind of like an electric football here, in that
you just hope he goes
running
forward.
Backs running everywhere. Here's Collins with the short kick, recovered by Grove City Christian at their own 41.
Well, Grove City definitely here. They're going to probably go long. More than definitely, knowing Coach Lucas's reputation so far in this ball game, he's probably going to go long, probably get some points up on the board, probably going to try to score because they get the ball coming back into the half. So,
yes,
so you could potentially score a touchdown, score another one when you come back in, and all of a sudden you have the lead.
Two wide receivers to the left, one to the right. High rolls left. Throws. It is caught. Brought down by Lane Holman. Stayed inbounds. The catch was made by Tristan Taylor, I believe. Wide receiver. Also the kicker. The move to change. 37.4 seconds to go.
They are taking their time setting that ball.
37 seconds. Clock running. High, rolls right.
Ooh.
Breaks the tackle. Miller chasing him out of bounds at the 40.
Well, and Taylor Kopp knows that he missed an opportunity to sack the quarterback right there and could have changed the landscape of this drive for Grove City Christian. And now instead of 2 and long, it's 2 and short. Very, very great play from Nate High. And like I said, that's why he's an impact player.
2nd and 2. High will keep it. Hit. Dropped.
And Taylor Kopp
made up for that missed tackle. Put a helmet on him, and Nate High goes down.
Well, and it looked like
40.
He was trying to go to the right and see if there was anything worth throwing to or running over there. And everybody was over there, and they kind of forgot about the backside. And when he tried to cut back to the backside, who was standing right there waiting for him? Big old Taylor Kopp.
So that timeout is charged to Grove City Christian, and they are out of timeouts with 21.9 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Well, you know how ESPN calls the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry the game. I think we should call this the game. The rivalry.
This game is getting colder by the minute. Temperature's down to 53. The wind's picking up. And there is
no rain so far.
No rain yet, but it's coming.
Wow.
So we may see rain around late 3rd, early 4th quarter. 10-point lead for the Knights. 3rd and short. High, rolling right. Looking, being chased, throws long. It'll be intercepted by Colin Young at the 18 to the 20, 21-yard line. 11.8 seconds to go. Knights get the ball and they can score again.
Jack, I'm interested to see what will happen if they try to score a touchdown. They could potentially go up by 17 points going into halftime.
I wouldn't put it past them to try to get some more points. This is shown to be a game that you need
You
points.
have to have points.
So this might be a pass play.
On the way to go, Colin Young to pick that ball off.
Colin played center field and picked it up.
Well, and you could almost see it as soon as the ball was underthrown just a little bit.
Tobin to the 20, 30, 33-yard line, timeout.
Ooh.
That's a penalty flag. Let's see who that's on.
I think it's on Edwards, actually.
Dead ball, personal foul, and that'll back him up 15 more yards.
I wonder if that'll give Dobmeyer more incentive to try and go for a touchdown.
Well, that'll put it close to midfield with 6.8 seconds to go.
Well, and I'm pretty confident Coach Dobmeyer still has one.
They have 2 timeouts left. Of course, they down the ball with 5.5 seconds to go.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Dobmeyer is going to try for points. Because it looked like with that play.
Stay tuned because they had time. Ball's marked at the 49. 2nd and 10. Knights have to go 51 yards for the touchdown. They got 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. There's a handoff to Heater to the 44-yard line, and that is the end of the first half of play. So we have 1 half in the books, and the Knights have a 10-point lead, 34-24 the score. And it's been an interesting first half of play.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're going to have Coach Daubenmeier join our sideline reporter Andrew Gerken. As Coach Dobbs heads over to Andrew, and
just send it over.
Join Andrew and turn it over to Andrew and Coach Dobbs.
All right, Coach, lots of offense in the first half. What do the Knights need to do to make sure that they leave here with the big W?
Well, we got to stop the big play. We gave them the kickoff return. We gave them the first play from scrimmage, big bomb. We let them get an onside kick. We got our guys calmed down pretty good, and we came back, fought it to 40. What is it, 40? 34-24. We're in good shape, and just have to settle down a little bit at halftime.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thank you.
FCA on LSN. FCA on LSN. Brought to you in part by
Fairfield Mini Storage is located on East Main Street in Lancaster, or find them online at ffministorage.com.
In Focus Consulting, the data agency. Online at infocusconsulting.com.
Redeemer Lutheran Church and Dr. Jack Davidson. You can visit them online at redeemerlancaster.org.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home. Respect for tradition, regard for change. Available online at funeralhome.com.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Hi, this is Pastor Joel with the Fairfield Christian Church North Campus, and we'd like to invite you to come join us on Sunday, October 28th from 4 to 8 p.m. for our annual Trunk or Treat Harvest Party. Come join us for some free food, games, trick-or-treating, and an awesome bonfire. Bring your kids, invite your friends, and come join us on October 28th for the Trunk or Treat Harvest Party at Fairfield Christian Church North Campus, located on State Route 204 in Baltimore.
Hello, my name is Josiah Lockwood, reporting for Fairfield Christian Media. Right now it's a halftime show for this football game, and right now I'm with Roger Hooper, the head basketball coach of Fairfield Christian Academy.
How you doing, Josiah?
Good, how are you?
Good.
All right, when does the basketball season start for this year?
It starts next Friday. That's the first practice date, November the 2nd.
All right. Okay. Are you excited about the season this year?
Yep, we're excited. We've put a lot of time in the off season, and the kids are pretty much ready to go, and we're excited about the upcoming season.
All right. How many starters are back from last year?
We have 4 starters back. We lost Hayden Welch last year. We have 4 starters back, and at 5th position right now we're not quite sure. We've got 3 or 4 guys that can go there. I think this year's team will be a team that we will probably be doing a lot more substituting than we did last year, so everybody should get a lot of playing time.
Okay. How did last year's season finish up?
We finished 17-5, won our league for the first time in school history, and won the Wellington tournament, and we exited the tournament in the sectional finals.
Who are the big opponents for this season?
Well, naturally in our league it will be Tree of Life again. We have a really strong out-of-league schedule. We've got Rosecrans, which every year they're strong. They were in the top 3 teams in the state last year. We got Bloom Carroll. We're going to Bloom Carroll. They were 20-0 in the regular season last year, and they have most of their team back, so they're really strong. We've got Coshocton, a big school, coming in here to play. Those are, we've got Harvest Prep, we've got New Lexington, and Crooksville coming out of the Muskingum Valley League. So we've got a tough schedule.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for coming on this show. Next up, the second half of the football game. All right.
Thank you.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home. Respect for tradition, regard for change. Available online at funeralhome.com.
Hi, this is Tracy Schaefer with Lancaster Upward Sports. I want to invite you to register your child for the upcoming Upward basketball and cheer season. Please visit www.fairfieldcc.com or call 740-654-0099 for more information. Find us on Facebook at Lancaster Upward Sports.
We're back in the game. Back here at halftime, Jim Rockwell Stadium, along with Caleb Condra, Jack Davidson. FCA has a 34-24 lead to start the third quarter. And Caleb, this has been quite the track meet.
A track meet indeed, as we saw kickoff returned for a touchdown. We saw big passes, big runs, everything. It was an incredible game to watch in the first half. And as Coach Dobbs said coming out of halftime, we need to play better defense. And I told you, I figured he'd say that. I wonder why.
How many years did you play with Coach for Coach Dobbs?
I played with Coach Dobbs for 3 years, but I mean, I knew him when I was in junior high too, as he was coaching high school then. So I mean, I've understood the Dobbemeyer theology for quite some time.
You see the Knights warming up here to get ready to start the second half of play. Temperatures dropped a little bit. Temperature was 54. It's close to 50 now. Wind picking up. Rain in the area.
But we're praying it goes around us.
We're praying that it goes around us, because it will be a cold, nasty night once the rain
Be very unfortunate if it started to rain.
Now the winner, if FCA wins tonight, they will go on to the state playoffs, Division 6. They'll play next Friday night at 7:30. That is if they win. If they win, they're in. Grove City has to win tonight and
to have a shot,
and then they need a lot of help.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. It's a big game for both teams, and this is a rivalry game, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, the rivalry. You will never see a bigger turnout for an FCA game than when they're playing Grove City Christian. These two teams hate each other.
In a Christian manner, speaking.
As much as you can for two Christian teams. And I mean, there's just that rivalry that I think that's healthy for football to have rivals, right? That you got to have those teams that you hate. You just can't stand them.
And the rivalry continues next year as both teams goes to the Mid-State League.
That's going to be huge, and I think that's very important that both teams are heading off to the Mid-State League next year. And with that, you get to keep this rivalry, and instead of it being, oh, well, you're just playing a team that isn't in any league, they're just kind of there, you're playing a league opponent, and it could very well determine the status of who moves on next season.
FCA will kick off to Grove City Christian to start the third quarter. Third quarter of action, FCA and LSN, brought to you in part by Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington, where class sizes are small, so you get to know the faculty that cares about you and your success. Discover your promise in academics, in athletics, or in theater at Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington, online at lancaster.ohiou.edu.
I got to tell you, I go to school there, and it's a fantastic school. I didn't really think that it'd be as good as it was, being a local community college. And I got in there, and it's incredible the fact that technically I'm an Ohio University student. I'm not an OUL student. I go to Ohio University, technically speaking. And I've got to say, that's been one of the greatest investments, personally speaking, as I'm paying for my own college.
Quality education at an affordable price.
Relatively speaking.
So Junior Collins will tee the ball up. And
the wind is working against him.
Looks like he was trying to tee it up because Grove City Christian was not ready. He was trying to tee it up quickly. Now we're ready to go. 12 minutes on the clock. Collins approaches the ball. Little pooch kick recovered by Josh Harkness. And Grove City Christian will start with the ball. Grove City Christian Eagles down the ball.
Now it looks like
close to the 50. It'll be marked at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Nate High will be the quarterback, junior quarterback, 5'11", 182 pounds. And running backs Jordan Haywood and Ethan Swank.
Well, and Nate High and Colin Young are going to meet again next year. And very important matchup here. I think those are two very good players in terms of what you're looking at for quarterbacks. Colin Young, kind of a rookie when it comes to being a quarterback, and Nate High, I'm pretty sure, been a very experienced quarterback, been playing very well. Little confusion out there all across the board.
Now we're ready. High, over center. With the Haywood, runs wide left, across the line of scrimmage into Knight territory. Good gain on first down.
Well, and I'm going to tell you what. Number 79, Jordan Edwards, laid out Brian Miller. We call what we call in football a pancake. He's cutting back, trying to go against the flow, trying to get back to the running back, and Edwards just flat out sends him down. And you saw Brian Miller get up from that, pat him on the shoulder, and go, great hit, bro.
2nd and 5 on the 47. Penalty flag on the play. Movement, I believe.
Probably be a false start.
On Grove City Christian. Actually, the lineman says they lined up in the neutral zone. He gave the offside indication.
That's got to be killer.
And back it up 5. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, you just gained 5 yards, and now all of a sudden it's 2nd and long, and that's very frustrating as a coach, especially because your team is killing themselves.
It's like Coach Allmer said, turnovers and penalties are key to the ball game. 2nd and 10. Give to Haywood.
And only about a 2-yard gain on that. Great stop by the Knights defense. That's exactly the type of defense that Coach Don Myers wanted them to play all game long. Way to stop the ball and not really allow a whole lot there. And now, instead of what could have been 3rd and short, they're now looking at 3rd and about 8.
3rd and 8 on the 50-yard line. High. Gives to Haywood around left side. He's close to the first down. I believe he has the first down. Will be marked at close to the 41-yard line. They move the chains, first down.
That was a great run by Grove City Christian there. They got some very good key blocks, and then, man, Haywood is just quick and just beat everybody else to the outside and was able to get enough head of a steam to get past and push forward.
1st and 10 on the 41. Hear the rain or the wind through our microphones. Haywood hits the 40 to about the 38-yard line, driven back.
Well, and that was, again, another good defensive play by the Knights. Way to only give up a yard, and now it's 2nd and 9. And it was group tackling there. They got one guy on it, and then everybody else just swarmed to the ball.
Ten and a half to go. 3rd quarter of play. 2nd and 8 on the 39. High. Gives to the first back through. I believe that was Mac Bruni.
Well, and if you see this, they've been lining up like a ton of people on the far left side and really loading that left side.
Check that. It was Ethan Swank on the carry.
The 3rd and about 6 here for Grove City Christian. Very manageable 3rd down.
High on the keeper, and he's brought down for a loss.
Well, and who was that? I believe
that's Colin Blackwell on the stop.
Wow. Colin Blackwell is one of those very impressive young talents that Coach Don Myers has been very impressed with. He was able to score a quarterback keeper after they had to take Colin Young out of a game for a head injury earlier in the season. He was able to score, and I mean, Coach talked about the unity where they picked him all up, and right there, I mean, he came in, made a big play there, and Colin's been playing very well so far this season.
There's a punt.
Another nice kick.
Hits inside the 20, takes a night bounce, and will be down with 9:09 to go. 3rd quarter of play. FCA up by 10. Their first possession in the 3rd quarter.
We talked early about if the if Fairfield Christian.
You really want to do an Ohio State game, don't you?
It's what I talk about with myself in the shower.
Too much information.
Too much information. But, I mean, if you look at Fairfield Christian there, if they win this game, they get into the playoffs, they're looking at playing a team like Bishop Rosecrans or even Trimble. And Trimble's a team they played before, and they know that they can compete with. So the Knights are hopeful, if they win this game, to definitely move forward and get a good playoff run out of this.
Walker wide left, Jeremiah Lee wide right, Heater in a slot. Tobin across the 20 to about the 23-yard line, maybe the 24.
That was a good job by that Grove City defense to sniff out. I mean, it's sad to say that 4 yards is a small gain for Ben Tobin, but I mean, they did a good job at sniffing out that direct snap to Ben Tobin. They saw that he was the one lined up under center, sent a guy to that side, and they were able to stop it for what is a short game for Ben Tobin.
Gain of 3, direct snap to Tobin. Spins across the 25, about the 26. Another gain of 3 to bring up 3rd and short.
Well, and this is, they definitely made the right adjustments in halftime to definitely be able to figure out, hey, whenever they do this, this is when they're going to be doing that. And so they're definitely picking up on the little subtle hints that Coach Donmeyer gives up about his offense and the plays he's about to run.
Halftime adjustments are huge in high school, aren't they?
Oh, in all sports they're huge.
In all sports, yeah.
You get that time to sit down and look at what just happened and then tell your guys, this is what's going on. It's huge.
Young steps up in the pocket to the 25, to the 30, across the 30, first down.
Well, it was a very good heads-up play to see that there was nothing going on downfield, and he was able to get across the first down and keep the drive going for the Knights.
Player down, and looks like that is a Grove City Christian player. Hate to see that happen. They can ill afford to lose any more players. They came in tonight with 19 players on the roster. Well, how many did they start with in the season? Like 25? They've had a number of players that go down with injury.
I believe that they had 26. They
26.
had one player transfer away for some reason, another player that left some point in the season, and then they've had 3 players lost to injury, one of which was one of their star linebackers, number 55, Tanner Burtz, and he went out with a neck injury. So, and he's out for the entire season. So that's a huge thing for the Eagles, and the fact that they played this well on such a short roster is plays testaments to their team.
Don't know who the player is, and we certainly wish him well. Both teams taking a knee and having a silent prayer for the player that's down.
Well, he does not look good. We don't see any movement coming from him, and that's definitely not something you want to see coming from an injured player. Is when you see him laid down on the ground like that, not making any movement. That's definitely not a good sign.
Tell you what, let's take a break, okay? And we'll take a timeout here with the score 34-24, 7:50 to go in the third quarter of play. We'll take this timeout and be back. This is FCA Football on LSN.
FCA on LSN. FCA on LSN. Brought to you in part by...
Discover your promise in academics, in athletics, or in theater at Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington. Online at lancaster.ohio.edu.
Thompson Concrete, full-service concrete company. Online at thompsonconcrete.com.
Roger Weaver and the Weaver Law offices online at weaver-law.com.
Fairfield Christian Church, located near the River Valley Mall in Lancaster, online at fairfieldcc.com.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Okay, back here with 7:47 to go, third quarter play. Alec Poling, the player, is down, helped off the field, and the ball is given to Ben Tobin, I believe.
Well, he's over on the sideline, sitting down on the bench.
So who was that? That was Ben Tobin.
And in regards to that injury, our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to Alec and his family, as and he's not looking good over there on the sideline.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6 on the 35. Tobin with a direct snap and gets up to the 36. Gain of about 1 will be 3rd and 5 with coming up on 7 minutes to go.
When we talked earlier in the first half, he had to have crossed the 200-yard mark in rushing as he eclipsed 3,600 yards rushing on the season, and just an incredible year rushing the football from Ben Tobin.
3rd and 5 on the 36. Tobin the back to the left.
Excuse me.
Young.
2,600 yards rushing.
Tobin up the gut to the 40, 45, first down. Close to midfield. They'll move the chains. Haywood down, being helped up by the Knight offense. They can ill afford to lose Jordan Haywood.
Well, he's definitely the workhorse of that offense and defense. He's been doing a good job on the outside, keeping up with playing safety, or excuse me, linebacker. And running back wise, he's probably their star running back, their key player.
Good looking football player playing linebacker. Young with a quarterback keeper will gain about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Well, Knights putting together a nice drive here.
And they're using a lot of clock there too, which is good.
That's very imperative to their cause right now. They're up by 10 points. At this point in the game, a touchdown doesn't seal the deal, but it puts you out of arm's reach. An easy arm's reach. The Grove City Eagles would have to get a step ladder out if they would want to get back into that game.
Tobin to the 40, first down. About the 37.5.
Well, in his 8-9 yard per run carries average on the season have just shown tonight, especially on that run as he moves forward, gets the first down, and then some change with it as well.
5:37 to go, third quarter. Walker out wide right, Heater wide left, Gall in the slot to the left. Tobin has a seam, 35-30, cuts back to the 20, inside the 20-yard line. Haywood on the tackle.
And that's about a 16, 17-yard run. And that's exactly the type of thing that the Grove City defense cannot give up, especially right now in the ball game. They're down by 10. The clock is ticking. The Knights are taking up a ton of time. The Eagles need to get a defensive stop here if they hope to, keep in this ball game.
Young, quarterback keeper, will be shy of the 15-yard line. They may mark it right at the 15. Second and we'll say 6. Starting to spit a little rain here at New Lex.
Well, and if the rain doesn't get here, at least it's still cold.
Feels like snow's on the way.
I know.
Tobin inside the 10, close to a first down.
Ben Tobin just continues to amaze me with how well he runs the football, the way that he doesn't go down on the first hit. He continues to move his feet, and just an all-around good ball player.
4:22 to go. Tobin hit, keeps the legs moving, runs backwards to about the 6.
Don't say that very often. And the Knights here, they're in a great scoring opportunity, and they have something that's very key is they've been picking up first down after first down after first down after first down, and that's awful as a defense when an offense just drives and drives and drives on you.
1st and goal at the 7 for the Knights. Under 4 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. 10-point lead for the Knights. Tobin inside the 5 to, let's see where they mark it, maybe the 4, 3.5. Joey Gall.
Joey Gall, that transformed lineman, now a fullback, wide receiver, slot man. He's played tight end. Very versatile young man.
Good athlete.
Very, very good athlete. He's probably one of the more valuable pieces in this Fairfield Christian. Very, very big presence on defense.
Kopp and Gall give to Tobin. Touchdown, Knights. 3:11 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. The Knights go up by 16, 40-24 with the point after to follow.
Well, and Coach Don Myers wanting to go for 2, and that'll put them up by 18 points if they get this.
Which would be more really than 3 scores. It would be,
about 4.
There'd be 2 touchdowns and a field goal, 17 points. 18 would be.
If you score touchdowns, you're in the game. But
that's right.
I mean, Grove City Christian has got to get something coming on this next drive.
Young. Rolling right, throws into the end zone. I believe that's Joey Gall.
That is Joey Gall.
On the 2-point conversion.
Well, and he just kind of came up under the flank. Nobody was really looking in. They were more concerned about Taylor Kopp and about, Jacob Walker. And they forgot about the fullback there on the underside. And Young found him, got it. And Gall was able to get that 2-point conversion. And now we're looking at a 42-24 game. And all of a sudden, Grove City Christian is looking less and less in this football game.
Mr. Moe is on the Knights side.
Mr. who?
Momentum.
Oh, yeah.
FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you in part by Central Ohio General Surgeons, physicians who have advanced training that allows them to perform invasive procedures for their patients. Central Ohio General Surgeons, your appointment includes time for examination and discussion, so feel free to ask questions at any time. Central Ohio General Surgeons can be contacted at 740-654-6213 online at centralohiogeneralsurgeons.com. Short kick goes out of bounds inside the 20, and it'll bring it out. Good field position for Grove City Christian.
This is a very important drive for Grove City Christian. If they don't score here, momentum almost is completely on Fairfield Christian's side, and at that point, if Fairfield Christian stops them here and then were to score again, they're down by 24, 25, 26 points. And that's huge, because in a ball game where one team can score at any given moment, you can't be down by 18, 20, even 10 points.
Good field position for Grove City Christian. They start right hash their own 35. High, the quarterback. He'll send Winningham to the left. Give to Haywood, across the 40, brought down by Tobin. Helps him up.
Well, and that's a good way to wrap up there. That's something that I think is very key. A lot of people don't really pay attention to. They try to knock him over and try to get those big hits, but a lot of people don't credit those tackles where you actually wrap up and you drive through. And even though he didn't drive through, he was able to get his feet, and that's what he needs to move.
2nd and 3 on the 42. Haywood, the lone back in the backfield. Gives to Haywood across the 45, 50, cuts back, 45 inside the 45 to about the 43, maybe 42-yard line of the Knights. Colin Young on the tackle.
Very impressive run there by Haywood as he was able to get outside. He's a quick little guy. I mean, he was able to...
You know, you have 2 of the top running backs in all of Central Ohio tonight, Haywood and Tobin.
Well, and I think that has a lot to do with why the score is the way it is. When you have 2 people who can just run up and down the field all over you in a game, you have that potential for seeing high-scoring football games.
High, rolling left. Going to cut up. Penalty flag on the play.
They're going to call a block in the back. It's almost
Lane Tobin was
holding.
Pursuing high, and that penalty will back up Grove City Christian. Will bring up a 1st and long with 1:56 to go in the third quarter.
And that's an act of, I've been there before on the offensive line when stuff like this is going on and you're just trying to protect your quarterback. At that point, you try to do whatever you can to really keep the other guy from getting on your quarterback, and sometimes holding happens. And technically speaking, holding happens on almost every play. It's just when the umpire sees it or not.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the top of the screen. Haywood, the lone back in the backfield.
Ooh.
Pulling motion to the left, and we have a dead ball foul, and it's on the Knights for offside. Lining up in the neutral zone. Brings the ball across the 50 to the 49.
Well, and that was a good idea, because that just took a quarter off of that huge 1st and long. And so it's still 1st and long, but not 1st and a mile.
High, back to pass, throws, it is incomplete. Intended receiver was Will Winningham, sophomore tight end.
Well, and he had Alec Pulling open down the middle of the field, and he was willing to go long. He probably could have had a touchdown. Alec Pulling was wide open down the middle of the football field. Good to see him, by the way, backing up in action.
1:22 to go, third quarter of play. Knights up 42-24. Wouldn't have thought that this score was be this close in the first quarter. 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen.
Running almost the exact same play.
High, throws, long, it is caught by Tristan Taylor for a touchdown.
And there's that defensive problems that the Knights have had all year on defending the long pass. The Knights have really been, they play a lot of very close to the line of scrimmage football, and really don't have the safety play, and the safeties really back there. They play so close to the line that they're almost linebackers. And with that comes the risk of big plays like that coming, and they've done it a couple times on the Knights tonight, but I mean, stand-up job to Coach Lucas for exploiting that and being able to score a touchdown. Their team's right back in this game.
Kick is good, and that 18-point lead has been cut to 11. Timeout on the field, 1:11 to go in the third quarter of play. Knights up by 11, 42-31 on LSN. This FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you by Ohio Christian University. Committed to offering a complete education that develops students intellectually, professionally, and spiritually. Ohio Christian University's degree programs equip students to become leaders in their careers, communities, families, and the world. Ohio Christian University online, ohiochristian.edu. Grove City Christian cuts into the lead now. What was an 18-point lead for the Knights, and momentum on their side. Grove City Christian has now taken Mr. Momentum, put them on their side, and we'll see what they do on the kickoff. They've had a onside kick earlier in the game that they recovered.
Well, and if Coach Lucas were to do that again, Mr. Moe, he's thinking about who he wants to go with right now, and if they were to do an onside kick and succeed in that, the game is all of a sudden all the momentum is on Grove City Christian's side, and it is a completely different ball game.
Heater and Tobin back deep, and dual safety as Taylor tees it up at the 40. Here's the approach, and there's a line drive kick.
It's a squib kick, nice.
That Tobin gets at the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, close to the 40. First down Knights with 66 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Good field position for the Knights. They've had some very bad field position all night. They've started at the 8. They've started at their own 3. They started basically most of their drives inside their own 25, and now they've had 2 or 3, a handful of drives really, where they've gotten to start on their own 40, Grove City's 40, and somewhere close to the middle of the field, which is very good for them. Very great field position.
Cop tight at right end. Play action. Young going long for Walker. He's bumped. No flag. Incomplete.
Can hear the crowd wanting a pass interference call. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure if that's a pass interference or not. It didn't look like he was going for the ball, which usually means that it's pass interference, but I'm not entirely sure. The ref obviously saw something that the crowd saw.
Backs in the eye with 60 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Young to Tobin. First down and more. Cuts back to the 40, 35-yard line. First down fumble, but they rule him down as he hit the ground. First down, Knights.
Well,
and now we got another player down for Grove City Christian.
Tobin does pick up the first down.
Ooh,
obviously, Grove City does have a player down.
So we don't know who this player is. Coach Dahlmeyer is out immediately to check on the player.
Definitely not an injury good day for Grove City Christian in regards to injuries. 2 guys that have been hurt, and this really isn't looking good. This is the second time tonight that this has happened to a Grove City player.
So 52.9 seconds to go, and FCA with an 11-point lead. If they win tonight, they go on to the playoffs, and they'll play Friday night at 7:30 to be determined. The opponent, they could get as high as Coach Dahlmeyer said, they could get as high as a 6 seed.
I think honestly, he was being a little conservative there. I honestly think that if they win this, and a few things go in their favor, as in people they beat winning this week, they can potentially be a 5th-ranked seed and really have a nice place to be in the playoffs.
Well, let's take another timeout. 52.9 seconds to go. Knights up by 11 on LSN.
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes. The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.
Back here at New Lexington football field, Jim Rockwell Stadium. Jack Davis along with Caleb Kandra, as there is a Grove City player down, and we don't have a number.
Whenever you see EMTs crowded around them with a police officer over talking into their walkie-talkies, nothing good can come of that, and this does not look very good.
Both teams saying a prayer right now. Player has his helmet off. It's the second major injury. Pause for a moment of prayer here.
We lift up our brother Ethan Swank in this moment. We ask that you would lay your hand of healing and blessings upon him. We ask for all a special hand of healing for those that are working over him now. We ask for your spirit to comfort his family that is with him. Those EMTs and EMS that are on their way, we ask for a swift transport for him. In Jesus' name we ask all of these things, and amen.
Ethan Swank will be helped off the field. A sophomore linebacker, running back for Grove City Christians. Good to see him being helped off the field. They're going to get the EMTs over there, and they're probably going to get an ambulance coming here.
Well,
and we'll be underway shortly here as both teams will head out.
We didn't really get to talk about that huge run from Ben Tobin. huge run there. But if you look at in terms of what just happened there for Grove City and what they just lost, they lost a huge part of their defense and offense.
1st and 10 with 48 seconds to go. Clock is running. Knights with the ball. Young on the quarterback keeper. Keeps the legs moving to the 25-20, 15-10, 5 to the 4. And another Grove City Christian player down. That's Nate High.
He's okay.
He's getting up slowly.
That just shows how hard Fairfield Christian's hitting right now, and both sides are hitting, and there come the EMTs right over the hill.
High will struggle back to the...
I do not wish to embarrass this young man, but his last carry, Ben Tobin, broke 2,700 yards.
Ben Tobin now is over 2,700 yards for the season.
He's inching his way to 3,000 yards for season.
25.4 seconds to go, and timeout Grove City Christian.
You know what's incredible? I don't know if anybody, if you think about it, most running backs in high school and college sometimes won't even get 3,000 rushing yards in a career. The fact that he's been able to get almost 3,000 rushing yards in a season is incredible.
I'm 56 years old. I don't have 3,000 yards in my dreams. FCA and LSN Game of the Week brought to you in part by Spires Paving Company, serving Lancaster and Fairfield County since 1984. They're a full-service pavement services company, providing asphalt paving, patching, and repairing, crack filling, and stripping for residential, commercial, churches, and local municipalities. Spires Paving, 740-653-6837, online at spirespaving.com. First and goal for the Knights at the 4. Kopp, Gall, and Tobin in the backfield. Gives to Tobin, up the gut, and he is in for the touchdown. Knights now up by 17 with 21.3 seconds to go. And we'll see if they go for 2 or 1. That was almost too easy. Ben just walked into the end zone.
Well, and right there, I mean, you could hear the coach, the FCA coaches up there, and you could hear them yelling, or the Grove City Christian coaches yelling, "They're coming to you, they're coming to you, they're coming to you," and he still got in anyway.
2-point conversion for the Knights here. Young, back to pass, throws, it is incomplete. Nice breakup on the point after attempt by Will Willingham. So 21.3 seconds to go, Knights up by 17. 48-31 on LSN. FCA and LSN brought to you in part by N-Focus Consulting, the data agency positioning and managing data in the marketplace. N-Focus Consulting provides data management from Lancaster, Ohio, and can be reached at 740-654-5809 or online at nfocusconsulting.com.
79 points between the two teams.
So Grove City Christian down by 17. They've had a couple players hurt tonight, which you don't want to see.
Right.
And to be honest, when you start with 26 players or so to begin the season, you're down to 19 here tonight, and when you lose 2, it really eats into your depth.
Well, especially when your quarterback is shaken up on a couple plays too. That's not good at all.
Taylor takes the ball to about the 45. The rugby pile will stop there.
That's exactly what it looked like too.
And so Grove City Christian will have the ball in great field position with 14.6 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. Ball will be on the right hash.
Big offensive drive here for Grove City Christian. They need to score, especially if the Knights are going to be continually running up and down the field on their defense. They have to score here.
And they have shown the propensity to score quickly.
Oh, yeah. They can do it.
Coming on the blitz. There gives to Haywood. 30. Cuts back 20. To the 15. Brought down.
Well, and that's a touchdown-saving tackle by Jacob Walker. Great run by Haywood there really came down to the fact your defensive end, Lane Toman, bit on the fake, thought that the quarterback had the ball. He went for the sack, and then all of a sudden you look down, and Haywood's on the other side of the football field.
Timeout on the field. 3 quarters in the books. FCA leads Grove City Christian 48-31 on LSN.
FCA on LSN. FCA on LSN. Brought to you in part by
Fairfield Mini Storage is located on East Main Street in Lancaster, or find them online at ffministorage.com.
Redeemer Lutheran Church and Dr. Jack Davidson. You can visit them online at redeemerlancaster.org.
InFocus Consulting, the data agency. Online at infocusconsulting.com.
Roger Weaver and the Weaver Law offices online at weaver-law.com.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Fourth quarter action at FCA and LSN brought to you in part by Fairfield Mini Storage, the place to store your personal or business goods in a clean, dry unit within a gated facility. They have outside storage for RVs and boats. They're Lancaster source for Penske truck rentals. Fairfield Mini Storage, located at 2230 East Main Street in Lancaster. You can find them on the web, ffministorage.com. Grove City offense sprints the offensive line to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal at the 10. They're down by 17. Nate High, the quarterback. Jordan Haywood gets the ball. Spins close to the 7-yard line. Ben Tobin has had another monster game.
Oof. Well over 300 yards rushing today.
He came in tonight with how many yards?
With somewhere around 2,383, and he's passed over 2,700.
So, and he's still got a quarter to go. He may be looking at a new school record tonight.
Just think about that. Do the math in your head.
2nd and 8, High rolling left. To the 5, brought down short of the goal line. 3rd and goal.
That was a nice run there by High. Way to get there. Looked like he might have gotten in. They mark him just short. Very nice run by him. Way to get them right on the goal line. And now Grove City Christian looking like they are right on the ability to score, but it's 3rd and inches. And they have an opportunity to cut this lead in about half.
They could do a lot here. They can go up the middle. They can run to the outside with their speed. Let's see what happens. 3rd and goal. High with the keeper, backs into the end zone for a touchdown. That comes at 10:40 to go in the game, and
definitely needed.
A 48-37 score.
Well, this is a Grove City team that will not go away. Fairfield Christian has hoped to put them away with these scores, and Grove City Christian doing a really good job of fighting their way back in, staying in this football game, and they're down by 11. Hoping to go down by only be down by 9 if it looks like they're going for 2.
Point after to follow. Ball is at the left hash. They may just try to run to the right, to the outside. They have the speed to do it. They have 3 wide receivers to the right. Haywood, the lone back in the backfield. High, rolling right, throws.
And they got it.
2 points, good. That was.
It's a 2-possession ball game. If the Eagles are able to shut down the Knights on defense, which so far today they have not been able to do, if they can get 2 drives where they can stop the Knights, this is a completely different ball game. And especially since Grove City has scored on their last 2 drives. Right now, with only a 9-point lead, it's a big deal.
10:40 to go in the ball game. Grove City Christian will kick off to the Knights. I want to remind you, this program is available online on demand. You can watch it again at your convenience. You can listen to the golden tones of Caleb Kendra.
Oh, the golden tones.
And that's at fairfieldmedia.tv.
Now, what are you?
Watch all the games.
The platinum chords of Jack Davidson?
No, I'm just old Dumbo.
Old Dumbo.
Taylor will tee the ball up at the 40. Our media team tonight, GT Burcham, Caleb Peters, Michael Collier, Andrew Gherkin, Scott West, Dane Alexander, KJ DeWeese, Doug Smith, of course, Caleb Kendra, and myself, Jack Davidson.
I love doing these games with you, Jack.
Well, thank you. It's an honor.
You and I used to do this consistently way back, would have been a sophomore.
The good hands people are on for the Knights as they have a lot of the running backs and wide receivers up close. Taylor, line drive kick, and we got a penalty flag, and I believe that someone's offside. Would that be on Grove City Christian? Perhaps. They'll back them up. We'll do it again.
That's always a really frustrating call when you get it when it's, you know, an offsides on your own team. Those are kind of those things. Kickoff penalties have always are always seen as extremely stupid penalties, no matter who it is. If it's the Knights, I mean, the Knights have had some stupid penalties tonight too. I mean, if you look at that, offsides on a kickoff, you just stay behind your kicker.
So they'll kick off from the 35. Heater is deep, standing at his own 15. They kick it short. They got Ben Tobin right in the middle to field the kick. And there it is, and it goes to the Knights.
And they got great field position.
Falls on that. That might have been Brian Miller.
And the Knights with great field position here. They're on the Eagles side of the field, the Eagles side of the 50. So if they are to score here again, it's been the same story all night long. You got to stop them on defense. If the Eagles cannot stop the Knights on defense on this drive, the next drive, the drive after that, they will not be able to win this ball game.
Well, it's got a long way to go. Tobin, the 43-yard line. Good pickup on first down.
These are always a real good game to watch. These are always two very good teams. Most of the time, they're both very good. They're very evenly matched football teams. And every year when they match up, it's always a tough battle. It's always a hard fight, and it's always a very passionate fight, too.
It's passionate because one year Grove City Christian just blew out FCA. Remember, that's the year that Grove City Christian went deep into the playoffs.
I think they went to the Final Four.
I think they went to the Final Four, and FCA has had that in their craw ever since. Young on the keeper, first down and more to the 30, inside the 30, about the 27, first down Knights.
Well, if you're watching the Eagles defense, if you're looking at their arms, they're looking to strip the ball, cause a turnover. Well, the issue with that is they let Colin Young get about 13 yards on a carry. So, I mean, honestly speaking, if you're a defense in this situation, you want to stop the football. You've got plenty of time to get a score, to get two scores. Just make sure you stop them. Do not let them get any first downs. That's got to be your goal instead of stripping the football.
Young looking at the play clock, which is not moving. Gives to Tobin, across the 25 to about the 22.
This is another one of those things where tick-tock, the clock keeps moving, and the Knights are doing a really good job of ball management and clock management, knocking off a lot of time and really doing, I mean, the fact of the matter is they really have no reason to pass the ball at this point in the game.
Unless they want to maybe loosen up the defense, right? But, I mean, you're right. They've been moving the ball
even with a tight defense, they haven't had a problem moving the ball, so I wouldn't even stop running.
Just keep the ball on the ground, 9 minutes to go. Tobin bounces to the outside to the 15, inside the 15, and he's close to a first down.
Oh, he got it. I mean, he was at the 14-yard line. That's a very clear first down. And, I mean, like I said there, if you're the Eagles, your first goal, you cannot give up first downs. You cannot let Ben Tobin run all over you. You cannot let Colin Young run all over you. And you know they're going to run the football. I would be very surprised if I saw Coach Dommeyer throw the football in this situation.
Tobin and Young in the backfield, direct snap to Tobin. Penalty flag on the play inside the 10. It'll probably be brought back. 8:31 to go, and that'll bring it back on that penalty. The Knights will go back 10 yards on the hold.
Whenever you see a flag thrown in the backfield like that, you know right off the bat it's going to be holding. It's the same thing every time. It's never anything different. And so the Eagles kind of catch a break here. They were 1st and 10 inside their own 15. Now it's 1st and 20, and they've got 25 yards to work with instead of 15. So that definitely changes, a lot of things for them.
8:22, clock moving. Tobin up the gut to the 20, close to the 15.
Well, and we haven't seen him run out of that, I guess you could call it a wildcat formation, which is a really interesting formation if you're watching this. Colin Young will line up like he's the quarterback, even though he's shifted slightly to the right, and they'll direct snap it to Ben Tobin, and then Colin Young will act as a fullback and go and block for him. You don't see that in football that often.
Backs in the eye. Young. Pass to Kopp. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. 54-39. Knights up by 15. And Junior Collins will come on to kick the extra point to make it a 16-point lead.
If I'm Grove City, I'm going to watch for the fake. Dobemeyer is notorious for the fake. He's notorious for going for 2. That's just kind of been his thing.
Well, they've had a couple point afters blocked tonight.
Yeah, so I don't really. It'll be interesting to see. It's still a two possession ball game. They can go up by 3 possessions if they do this here.
High snap, ball down, kick is up, and it is no good. Wide left. So 7:34 to go in the ball game. Knights up 54-39 on Ellison. We want to remind you once again that this game can be viewed once again on demand at your own convenience. Just go to fairfieldmedia.tv.
Nothing more to
it.
And
it's free.
And it's free.
It's free. And you can watch, correct me if I'm wrong, you can watch all the games.
You can watch all the games. You can watch all their programs that they do. This week with Sheriff Phelan, the Lancaster Perspective with Mike Miller.
You can go back to the whole, see the whole
last
game,
season.
Last season. We've had coaches tell us that they have scouted the Knights by going to fairfieldmedia.tv.
It's incredible. I really am very proud of the media team and what they've been doing over the past 4 or 5 years, ever since a lot of times it's been really good. What is going on here?
Just changing a little formation here. Junior Collins will tee it up at the 40. Here's the approach. Short kick.
Very confused.
To the 30, he'll go wide. He's got a lane to the 40, 50, knocked out of bounds. No flags. Great, there's a flag.
There's going to be a block in the back. I'm surprised they didn't call one on Nate High way back and knock somebody down in the backfield. And this is going to be coming back a couple of yards. It'll probably be about the 45, their own Knights 45, their own 50. If this is what I thought it is.
Block in the back on the Eagles. 1st and 10, and they'll mark it inside
their own 49.
Their 50 to 49, yeah, inside their 49. Block in the back.
Those are penalties you just cannot live with. You can't give up stuff like that. That just kills a drive. Even if you're starting, technically speaking, this is great field position. But compared to starting at the 35 instead of the 49, that's huge.
Trey Roberts goes wide to the right. Haywood, the lone back in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the left. Give to Haywood. Jitterbugs to the 50 to the 47.
Ben Tobin didn't let him go anywhere. He tried to get past him, and Ben Tobin just grabbed his legs and wouldn't let him go.
2nd and 6 at the 47. 7 minutes and 5 seconds stand between the Knights and the playoffs if they can hang on here.
It's a big drive for Grove City Christian. They have the opportunity of getting back into this ball game. Technically speaking, they're still in it, but I mean, it's a two-score lead for the Knights.
Now we've seen them score quick tonight.
Oh yes.
This game's not over. Far from it. Haywood breaks a tackle to the 40, inside the 40, first down.
And that's the type of tackling that you cannot do against really either of these backs. I mean, you saw it. They were grabbing Jersey. They were trying to just blow past them. And Hayward just was like, that doesn't matter to me, and he just kept going. And I mean, he was able to gain about another 5, maybe 6 yards after that first hit. Got to wrap up.
6.5 to go in the ball game.
I mean, unless you're Ray Lewis, you can't just plow through people.
Haywood to the 35 and dropped.
And Joey Gall was not letting him get past there. Joey Gall, definitely, he's the defensive captain of this football team, the leader of the defense. You see him, he calls the plays. He's definitely that figure that really kind of keeps the team moving and motivated throughout the throughout a game on the defensive side.
Where you want your seniors to step up on senior night. Under 6 minutes to go. High and around.
Lane Toman didn't let that get past him. He got it.
And Alec Poling brought down outside the 35. Loss of, well, that's a loss of about 6, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
Well, very good play there by Lane Toman. He stayed home. He got burned on the one play earlier that scored a touchdown. And on this play, or no, it wasn't first touch, but it set a touchdown up. And on this play, he stayed home, and it paid off. He didn't go after the sack. He stayed home, and he was able to get the ball down behind the line.
3 timeouts for FCA remaining. Grove City Christian has 2 remaining. Over the middle, incomplete.
That's 4th and long.
Alec Poling, the intended receiver. Brian Miller on the coverage. And key play here, big play for Grove City.
Well, and you got to wonder if they're definitely going to go for it. They cannot afford, with under 5 minutes left in the ball game, they cannot punt the ball. They've got to get a first down here, and if they don't get a first down, you give the ball to the Knights, they'll most likely score if history proves correct. They've got to get a first down here in order to stay in this football game.
When Earl Bruce was coach at Ohio State, the students would take out the keys, their key chains and the keys, and they would jingle them and say this would be a key play. It is a key play. High, back to pass, throws, it is caught.
That's Trayvon Roberts.
Roberts to the 10. Inside the 10, first down, Grove City Christian.
That's a huge play for Grove City Christian. Instead of giving up the ball and setting up the Knights to score again, as they have struggled all night to stop the Knights on defense, Grove City Christian, the Eagles, back in this, really they were never all out of it, but now they have an opportunity to score, and it'll put them within a touchdown, or really within a touchdown, and it is a good position to stay in this ball game.
15-point lead for the Knights with 4.5 to go in the ball game.
Well, and I mean, and this has got to be frustrating for Grove City Christian. At one point, they were ahead by 10 points.
Haywood to the 5. 3-2-1 touchdown.
Nice draw play by the Eagles. They looked like they were going to pass, which the Knights just got burned on. They bit on the pass, and Haywood just walked into the end zone.
54-45 the score with a point after to follow.
99 points have been scored in this ball game today.
Soon to have the 100th point.
Maybe the 101.
Or maybe 101, that's right. They're going to put the ball at the left hash. So a 2-point conversion, if successful, would make it a 7-point lead for the Knights. Haywood, the lone back in the backfield. They've passed out of this formation the last 2-point conversion. High, throws across the middle, and it is...
Got it.
Got it. That is Trey Roberts for the 2-point conversion.
And they're down by 7 points.
Down by 7. FCA leads 54-47. Now with 4:15 to go in the ball game. Buckle up, friends. This is going to be
a ball game.
A interesting last 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, and this was an incredible job by the Eagles there. Way to go, honestly, this Eagles offense. What happened there is they were down, they were 4th and 11, and it was, if they don't get this first down, it's game over. And they were able to get the first down. And quite honestly, now they're only down by 7 points. I know the scoreboard hasn't changed yet, but they're only down by 7 points. There it goes. They're only down by 7 points. And if they stop the Knights on this drive, or if they kick an onside kick or whatever happens.
No, they kicked onside last time, right?
Yeah, and Brian Miller was able to get that.
Josh Heater, freshman, stands at his own 12-yard line as Taylor tees the ball up at the 40. Tristan Taylor.
We have 101 points scored in this ball game between the two teams.
Here's the approach.
Almost hit that kid.
Heater picks it up at the 15. Slides to the 21.
Coach Donmeyer's probably going to come out of this. I mean, being a student of his, I can tell you right now, Coach Donmeyer's probably want to come out, and I don't think he's going to throw. I don't think right off the bat he's going to risk an interception. He's going to run, and why would anybody blame him? It's been working all night. Even when they've loaded the box, the Knights have been able to run up and down the field on the Eagles.
1st and 10 on the 21.
What's that tight end, Tristan?
Young. Tobin kicks it out to the outside. 25-yard line, maybe the 24. It'll be short of the 25. Gain of.
It was a nice.
Give him 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 25.
Well, it looks like it almost is 5. It's right on the nose of that 5-yard line, or 25-yard line. So it's about 5 yards, 4 yards there. The scoreboard says 2 and 6.
.338 to go in the ball game. Backs in the eye.
The Knights are just going to wind down this clock.
Young on the keeper. This is the 26. Maybe the 27.
And he got a whole lot of nothing. Maybe about 2 or 3 yards. I mean, it's a nice play there because now instead of it being 3rd and long, you're looking at more like 3rd. It looks about 3. And so this is a very manageable 3rd down for the Knights. And if history is proved true, there you have no reason not to run the football right up the gut and get a 1st down with Ben Tobin.
Backs in the eye. Tobin the ball carrier. He's got a 1st down and more to the 35, 40, 50. Tucks the ball underneath his arm to the 40-yard line. 1st down, no flags. Big play by Ben Tobin and the Knights.
You can't let that happen as a defense. I can tell you right now, the coaches have got to be furious to have an opportunity to stop the Knights on 3rd down, force a 4th down, and they give up a huge run. And this is looking like another game where Ben Tobin's just going to be able to run up and down the field on this football team.
Well, he has so far. They'd have to make certain there will be no turnovers. 2:25 to go in the ball game. Knights up by a touchdown. Young. I'm surprised Grove City Christian has not taken a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Young to Tobin. He'll fall to the 37.
It's 54 to 47. And, I mean, good grief. The score in this game is ridiculous.
Knights less than 120 seconds to the playoffs.
If they can hold on, if they can, I honestly think if they score on this drive, they're in the playoffs.
142. Young taking his time.
Well, I'm surprised that you haven't seen any. The only reason I would think that they would keep their timeouts is so that
there's a timeout with 1:29 to go.
Well, and I was going to say, I was getting to be very intrigued by that, because the only reason that would really make me think that they would save their timeouts is because if they get the ball back, you want those timeouts to try and get down the football field. And that's the only reason I could think they wouldn't use them. But right there, he uses one of his last 2 timeouts. They only got 1 left. And, I mean, close ball game. This can go either way.
1:29 to go in the ball game. Knights up 54-47. 3rd and 4 on the 34-yard line. Knights cannot afford a turnover. They want to hang on to the ball. They want to get a first down. They get a first down and move the chains. They can run the clock out.
If they give up a turnover, Grove City Christian all of a sudden has the ball game right in front of them and every reason to win the football game. But, however, right now, if the Knights can get a first down on this right here, it looks like it could go towards the Knights for this win.
Knights fans on their feet. Young fumble. I think FCA got it.
They're very lucky that they got that football.
1:20 to go in the ball game. Timeout. Timeout, Grove City Christian.
They don't have any left, and that's huge. If you're Coach Lucas, you're saying we've got to stop it here. We cannot let them get a first down, because if they get a first down, 1 knee, 2 knee, 3 knee, game's over. That's a huge risk there. They got to stop them here, because if they do stop them, they get the ball and they can drive down, score. They haven't had a problem getting 2 points. So this game, if they get a stop here, could very easily go to Grove City Christian.
80 seconds to go in the ball game. Knights 54, Grove City Christian 47. 4th and 7 on the Grove City Christian 37.
There we see it. You just saw a shot there. We just switched from, that was Ben Tobin, the star running back's father.
And there's Mr. Tobin.
Watching his son, standing on his feet. Calm, cool, and collected, just like his son.
Everybody on their feet here at New Lex. Young in the backfield. Tobin in the backfield. Direct snap to Tobin. Going to take it wide. First down.
And that's going to be the ball game. Honestly, unless something huge happens, that's a first down.
He had to go to the 30, and they're marking it at the 30. They're going to take a timeout to measure. I think that's a first down, but we shall see. That's on the far side there.
The way it looked for me is it looked like he was ahead of it by a full head. They marked him just short. I don't know what this could be the ball game right here.
Well, let's see. Then they held.
Wow.
Son of a gun. They held.
I don't know if that's a good spot, but hey, that's what it is. And the Knights defense cannot let Grove City Christian score. This is a game. Wow, that's incredible.
I thought Tobin had the first down. Good job by the Grove City Christian defense. And
and they cannot let.
This is going to be an interesting.
They can't give up a big
seconds.
Play.
No, they can't. Here we go. High, rolling left, throws, incomplete.
There's a flag on that play.
Kristen Taylor was the intended receiver. Let's see who's it on.
False start. It looked like there was some confusion as you see Alec Poley was standing at the line. It looked like he thought that they were going on something else. And it,
legal procedure on Grove City Christian. 1:08 to go. Now they're going to
move them back.
They're going to try to put some time back on the clock. Let's see what they do here.
The Knights really need to watch Tristan Taylor on the end with Alec Poley. Then you also got to keep a really close eye on Trayvon Walker at the top. They've really got to play good defense here on this.
I think they're trying to put like 1:11 on the clock. It's 1:08. They're going to try to put time on the clock. We're waiting for time to get back on the clock.
Well, as you look at Jacob Walker, he looks up there like the top, like he's going to play some hard coverage on Trayvon Roberts. He needs to back off a bit.
1:12 is what they want on the clock. They want to add 4 more seconds. There we go. Minute 12.
This is an exciting game, Jack.
Good cheap entertainment, right?
Good
high
cheap
school
entertainment.
sport.
Hey, it's free.
It's free. There you go. High.
There's holding on that play.
It is caught. Roberts.
Well, I
Shy
can't
of the
believe
40.
I can't believe there's holding. Brian Miller came through, got held, or no, it wasn't Brian Miller. I think it was somebody on the line got held, and they didn't call holding. He was being held by his jersey.
1:03 to go. High, back to pass. Looks, throws, caught. Taylor.
And the clock keeps moving. They do not have any timeouts.
Mark it at the 44. First down. They're going to stop the clock to move the chains.
And the Knights got to play back. They cannot let them get past them, because if they play back, they have that opportunity to keep them underneath of them.
High, rolling right. Looks, throws, and incomplete. Grounded the football there.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get his feet underneath of him. I think you just got a little too excited there. Wasn't able to get a good pass off.
That was a good play. Stops the clock. They still got 49 seconds to go. And let's see.
This is where your Knights defense is going to get tested. If the Knights defense here can hold, this will prove that they're worthy to go to the playoffs.
2nd and 10 on the 44. Roberts to the bottom of your screen. 2 wide receivers to the right. High, back to pass, throws. Intercepted! Tolman!
And that's the ball game. Lane Tillman tried to run with it, fumbled it, and I think the Knights got the fumble.
Let's see. Joey Gall says they got the fumble, and they do.
They do. That's going to be the ball game.
Hang out of the football. The Knights are going to the playoffs.
Wow. Huge play by Elaine Tillman to save the game. That's a sophomore, number 42, Lane Tillman. Way to save the game. Jump back in coverage, was able to pick off the pass. And Caleb Walls runs off the sideline. And that game was just won by Lane Tillman there. Game-saving interception. Incredible play by the sophomore.
I want to remind you that this game can be seen in its entirety. You may want to watch it again. Go to fairfieldmedia.tv.
Jack, are you shaking? Is it this game is intense, or am I just cold?
I think you're cold. Our media team brings this game to you. JT Burcham, Caleb Peters, Michael Collier, Andrew Gerken, Scott West, Dane Alexander, KJ DeWeese, Doug Smith, and Caleb Kandra. Fine media team at FCA. We thank them for all their hard work as the Knights go into the victory formation with 39.2 seconds to go. Young takes a knee, and the Knights, as soon as they put the ball down, and they're going to put the ball down now, and that is going to be the ball game. The Knights don't have to take another snap, and the Knights are headed to the playoffs. Standing ovation for the FCA Knights. We see Colin Young, Joey Gall, everybody on their feet. The Knights are going to the playoffs for the 2nd time in their history.
Such an incredible game. Ben Tobin going over, giving a handoff to them. Such an incredible game from the Knights. I mean,
and look at Ben Tobin on the other side going up and shaking hands and giving a hug to Nate High, the quarterback. He's not celebrating with his team. What he's doing is going over and just congratulating Grove City for putting up a great fight. That's class right there, folks. That's what high school sports, and that's what Grove City Christian and FCA is all about right there. And you'll see them congratulate one another, and then they're going to take a knee at midfield and have a closing prayer, which is what they do in the Mocal, and that's a tradition that will go on into the Mid-State League when these two teams face each other next year. So Grove City Christian puts up a valiant fight. Whew. Final score, FCA 54, Grove City Christian 47.
Yeah, I think we're going to hang out here for a little bit. I think they're going to try to get Coach Dobmeyer over here. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that.
Well, you see the players gathering there at midfield, and they will have a prayer. Great season for FCA. They finished 8-2. They needed the win to get in the playoffs, and
they're in.
They're going.
Well, quite simply said, I mean, this was a win. This was should have really, you could consider it a playoff game in and of itself. You win this, you go on. You lose this, it's probably the end of your season.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side with the playoffs. For Caleb Kander and the FCA media team, this is Jack Davison thanking you for watching FCA Sports on LSN. For this time, till next time, have a good night, everybody.
FCA on LSN. FCA on LSN. Brought to you in part by
Fairfield Mini Storage is located on East Main Street in Lancaster, or find them online at ffministorage.com.
Redeemer Lutheran Church and Dr. Jack Davidson. You can visit them online at redeemerlancaster.org.
InFocus Consulting, the data agency. Online at infocusconsulting.com.
Roger Weaver and the Weaver Law offices online at weaver-law.com.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Hi, this is Tracy Schaefer with Lancaster Upward Sports. I want to invite you to register your child for the upcoming Upward basketball and cheer season. Please visit www.fairfieldcc.com or call 740-654-0099 for more information. Find us on Facebook at Lancaster Upward Sports.
FCA on LSN. Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.
Thanks for watching FCA on LSN.